If it wasn't for the eightfold sword formation and the primal chaos sword light, he would have been killed long ago. Even so, his situation was still very dangerous. He could be destroyed by his opponent's sword formation at any time. Two desolate sabers descended from the sky. The three yellow springs diagrams in front of them kept spinning. The two greater demons at the back quickly attacked. Heavens! Lin Xian's qi and blood were roiling from the attacks. Now that he had revealed his identity, he no longer hid it. Nine Yang divine body. The golden light made him look like a golden god of war. He blocked the power. At the same time, he activated his sword qi again. No one could stop him. Pong. In the end, he used the powerful 10 ultimate sword formation to break the 8 ultimate sword formation and pierce through Wang Jianyi's body. Wang Jianyi used the chaotic sword light to defend, but his body was completely destroyed. The aura of the great dragon sword spirit made it impossible for him to recover. In the end, the chaotic sword light protected his head. Damn it! Save me! Wang Jianyi was truly terrified. This was his last hope. If his soul was destroyed, he would not be able to revive. With a scream, the chaotic sword light was sent flying again. Everyone went crazy. But at this moment, a spatial crack appeared in the sky and swallowed him. Lin Xian's sword also missed. It pierced through the void and did not hit the other party's head. Did he escape? Impossible. Lin Xian used the heaven-level god's eye. At this moment, he stared at a figure. A hazy figure descended from the sky and stood there, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. Gu Feng. Lin Xian's face darkened. Gu Feng was a genius of the space element. He was the one who used the void great divine ability to move the other party's head away. Why? Do you want to save him? Ask the sword in my hand if it agrees. Lin Xian's voice was cold. On the other side, many spatial cracks appeared on Gu Feng's body. His body seemed to have completely merged with the world. A terrifying aura spread. The two of them faced each other, while the surrounding people were fighting. Yu Ruo, Lu Yuan, Morong Qingqing, and the surrounding people attacked, forming a terrifying attack. However, there were too many people around them, so they were gradually suppressed. Morong Qingqing snorted and released the light of Kunlun. Immediately, the people of the Kunlun pavilion in the distance quickly came to help, but it was not enough. This time, the other party had at least 4 sacred cities, while they only had 2 sacred cities. Fortunately, Morong Qingqing and the others were all top experts, so they could fight against many people at once. That was why they were in a stalemate. The faces of the people of the 4 sacred cities became extremely ugly. They had suffered heavy losses. On the other hand, the other party was only slightly injured. None of them died, which made them go crazy. Lu Xuanxin also retreated. Her face was full of disbelief. The crowd scattered, forming a confrontation. They all looked forward. In front, Lin Xian and Gu Feng were facing each other. The aura on their bodies was getting more and more terrifying, especially the 10 types of laws on Lin Xian's body, which turned into 10 divine swords and swept in all directions. Even the people of the 4 sacred cities felt their scalps go numb. The other party was just a minor saint, but the power of his swords could easily kill them. Gu Feng was even more terrifying. The other saint sovereigns could not resist him. However, he seemed to be fine. A dozen large cracks appeared around him, tearing the void apart. All the terrifying sword qi were swallowed by him. From the looks of it, he should have been exiled into the void. Lin Xian did not act rashly because the space technique was extremely terrifying. Moreover, the other party was from the Monarch clan. He must have cultivated the void scripture. It was probably more terrifying than Wang Jianyi's 8-fold sword formation. On the other side, Gu Feng also did not act. To be honest, although he had an extremely powerful space technique, the space technique was too powerful. But the other party's law was too strong. It could even transform into a yin-yang image, which really surprised her. Lin Xian, very good. You are not dead. Looks like we will have a battle in the end. But not now. Next time. Gu Feng's body gradually disappeared into the void. His voice resounded between heaven and earth. Lin Xian said coldly, I will be waiting for you at any time. When Gu Feng disappeared, The faces of the people of the 4 sacred cities became even uglier. Lu Yuan and the others heaved a sigh of relief. This Gu Feng was not simple. He was the king of space. That was not something that could be said casually. Yu Ruo also nodded solemnly. Her black and white eyes sensed carefully. She then said, "He should have left." Chapter 42:50. Although Gu Feng had left, the people from the 4 great sacred cities were still here, and their eyes were filled with killing intent. They had already sent out a signal, and more experts would come to support them. Sure enough, many figures appeared in the surroundings, and a few of them were abnormally powerful. A demonic ape walked out from the myriad demon cities' side with a terrifying aura. With a stomp of its foot, countless large cracks spread across the ground, turning the ground into a canyon. A few terrifying figures also came from the great desolate mansion, and one of them was a middle-aged man who was carrying a bronze coffin. It was really strange. His appearance shocked countless people. In addition, 6 experts from the Acheron Hall came, and 2 of them were abnormally strange. They were a man and a woman. The man was wearing a black robe, and the woman was wearing a white dress. The 2 of them were abnormally mysterious. The cold aura from their bodies made everyone's scalp tingle. The experts from the 3 great sacred cities arrived one after another, but the morale of the Myriad Sword Pavilion was somewhat low. After all, Wan Jinni was killed until only his head was left, and he fled in a panic. Even if he survived, he would be seriously injured. Their confidence was damaged. Lu Xuanxin also left, and the remaining people were also terrified. However, people from the Thunder God City came. One of them held the Great Path of Thunder, and it was very terrifying. They surrounded Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian's expression was cold, and it seemed that a terrifying battle was about to break out. However, Lu Yuan snorted coldly. Did they really think that there was no one on our side? Buzz. The sound of a guqin could be heard. Then, countless laws were blown down, and a person carrying a guqin descended. Her long hair fluttered in the wind, and she had a transcendent aura. However, the sound of the guqin was mesmerizing, and they almost vomited blood and died. Everyone was shocked. Another expert had arrived. It was King Wushuang's 4th disciple, Gao Jianfei. The person who came shouted coldly. Boom! The sky fell, and the earth cracked. A person who was like a divine king had arrived. He looked disdainfully in all directions, stepping on the phantom of a divine beast, and endless light surrounded his body. He appeared as if he was a king. He said coldly, "I am King Wushuang's 7th disciple, Long Aojuan." Everyone was shocked. It was another 2 powerful geniuses from Wushuang City. Although there weren't many people, their strength was abnormally terrifying. "Just the few of you dare to contend with us?" A woman in a white dress from the Acheron Palace sneered. The man in black armor next to her also snorted coldly, unable to withstand a single blow. "Is that so? Why don't you give it a try and see if it can't withstand a single blow?" Another voice rang out as 2 streaks of light streaked across the sky. "It's Senior Marshal Brother Fu." Lin Xian smiled. That's right. The person who came was Fu Hongye. His body was surrounded by laws, and he could attack at any time. Beside him was a figure. It was also a beautiful woman. There was a sly smile on her face, and she did not show any fear because of the terrifying battle. "I am King Wushuang's 5th disciple, Shangguan Shaoxian." Buzz. Shen Jingqiu came to Lin Xian's side and looked at him. "Apart from senior brother Linghu, most of the people on our side have already arrived." Peerless City's lineup was very strong. Every one of them was a top figure. They were fearless in the face of the 5 great holy cities. Your Wushuang City really doesn't know how to live. Now, surrender obediently and accept our judgment. The woman in white from Acheron Palace said coldly. "You dare to judge me?" Shangguan Shaoxian walked out. "What? You want to fight one-on-one?" The woman in white also walked out. The 2 of them stood in the void. Suddenly, the woman in white attacked. A Acheron sword slashed out. At the same time, the Acheron scroll and the Acheron chain flew out. She attacked with a fatal blow. Terrifying laws and supernatural powers surged out. It seemed like nothing could stop them. Everyone was watching, wondering how Shangguan Shaoxian was going to defend herself. Shangguan Shaoxian did not care. She waved her hand and took out a golden brush and a book. Like a scholar, the golden brush drew one golden Tao pattern after another in the air. It was just a few strokes, but it formed a picture. It was a heavenly master holding a rune to suppress the ghosts under his feet. This golden picture carried with it an overwhelming aura as it pressed forward. The woman in white was disdainful at first, but when she felt the aura from the picture, her face changed. She frantically retreated. The righteous aura was very effective against her. Soon, all the supernatural powers she cast were shattered. She also suffered from the impact and spat out a mouthful of blood. "Sister!" Seeing this, the man in black armor shouted angrily. He stomped his foot and rushed over. He drew a black torrent, and a long spear appeared in his hand. He stabbed at the golden picture in front of him with his sword. In the next moment, the collision of the two produced a deafening sound. The heavenly master protection on the golden picture seemed to have come alive. She waved her hand and shot the rune at the man in black armor. The man in black armor was also on guard. However, the woman in white attacked again. The killing sword in her hand pierced the golden rune. The two of them joined forces to attack Shangguan Shaoxian. "Are they trying to bully me with numbers?" Gao Jianfei walked over from behind. He took out the guqin on his back and played it with his fingers. High mountain and flowing water, heavenly sound kill. An extremely terrifying sound wave of heavenly sound rushed out. Buzz, buzz. The two of them joined forces and sent the two Saint Venerables from Acheron Palace flying. Countless exclamations were heard. The people from Acheron Palace looked pale. They did not expect the two of them to lose. One should know that the two of them were known as the Acheron emissaries. They could not defeat the personal disciple of King Peerless? Damn it! The two of them gritted their teeth. At this moment, the middle-aged man from Great Desolation Mansion walked out. He placed the coffin on the ground. Immediately, the sky shook and the earth shook. He opened the coffin with force. He sneered. Everything was over. An extremely terrifying aura spread out. Shangguan Shaoxian and Gao Jianfei's expressions changed. The two of them cast out their supernatural powers. The terrifying aura of desolation tore everything apart. However, they did not relax. They did not know what was inside. Buzz. After the coffin was opened, the palm that had been training reached out. There was only a palm and nothing else. However, the aura it carried was incomparably terrifying. It was as if the hand of a god could suppress everything. The golden picture that Shangguan Shaoxian cast out shattered. Even the sound wave of Gao Shan and Lu Shuai was shattered. The two of them were shocked. What was that? Seeing this, Fu Hongye shouted coldly and quickly retreated. It was a secret treasure. Indeed, it should be a palm left behind by an ancient saint. The expert from Great Desolation Mansion must have practiced it. At this moment, there was a crack on the palm. A mysterious eye peeked out from the crack and emitted a terrifying light. Shangguan Shaoxian and Gao Jianfei immediately felt their bodies being restrained. They could not retreat at all. At this moment, Lin Xian shouted coldly. He activated the 10 ultimate sword formation and slashed at the palm, sending it flying. "You're courting death. How dare you stop me?" The middle-aged man shouted angrily. He stretched out his palm. The mysterious eye in the palm could also affect one's soul. It was an all-out attack. If one was careless, one's soul would be shaken and turned into a bloody mist. Chapter 42:51. However, he still underestimated Lin Xian. Lin Xian's 10 severing swords carried a sharp sword aura that was capable of destroying everything. Therefore, the 10 extinction swords formation instantly enveloped the palm and then shattered it. A crazy roar was heard as blood flowed. The middle-aged man vomited blood and flew backward. "How dare you?" he shouted angrily, but he was scared out of his wits because Lin Xian charged over with the sword formation. He was slashed into a bloody mist. Was he dead? Everyone was shocked. This Lin Xian was too terrifying. Buzz. Someone from the demon city made a move. The woman formed a seal with her palms. Her two arms turned into two huge mysterious flowers. They were purple with strange Tao patterns on them. The flowers bloomed. A fragrance drifted out. Everyone was shocked and held their breaths. They were terrified. The two strange flowers attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted. He waved the 10 extinction swords. However, at this moment, another figure walked out. It was Long Ao Jun. As soon as Long Ao Jun appeared, he said coldly, "Fleeting beauty." With a cold shout, the two mysterious flowers withered in an instant. Then, the woman's face turned pale as she roared in horror. Her arms fell to her sides. She no longer had any power. Everyone was shocked. It was too terrifying. Each of the personal disciples of unparalleled Sage King had strange laws. At this moment, they were really terrifying. For a moment, they suppressed the few great sage cities. However, at this moment, a palm reached out from the 9 heavens and grabbed Lin Xian. Indeed, the power contained in this palm was too terrifying. Even Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He activated the 10 extinction swords to block. The 10 swords of law continued to dance and slash at the palm. With a clang, he was forced back, his blood and chi churning. The surrounding people were all shocked. Who on earth could actually injure Lin Xian? A cold voice sounded between heaven and earth. "Kid, today is the day you die." Then, a figure walked out. Huang Shisan. He actually came as well. Huang Shisan was an expert from the previous generation. Moreover, he was already a middle-stage Saint Venerable. Xiao Qin's strength far surpassed that of an early-stage Holy Venerate. As expected, once he made his move, Lin Xian's 10 absolute swords were unable to do anything to him. Lin Xian's face was cold. Fu Hongye walked out. "If you want to fight, I'll accompany you to the end." He was also a middle-stage Holy Venerable, so the two of them fought for a long time. The other people shouted coldly and attacked. So what if the other party was strong? Sure enough, a spatial array appeared behind them, and the others were all teleported over. The number of people instantly increased by several times. In an instant, Lin Xian and the others were surrounded. The young Sky Prides weren't the only ones among them. Many older generation figures had come. Aside from Huang Shisan, many middle-stage holy venerates from the other holy cities also came. It could be said that Wushuang City's situation was extremely dangerous. Murong Qingqing also asked the Kunlun Pavilion to send some masters over. However, he was still unable to turn the situation around. Everyone's expression turned ugly. Those who were watching the battle outside all revealed cold smiles. Among them, the Acheron Palace's Silver Corpse Holy King looked at Wushuang Holy King and said coldly, "It's a pity that these genius disciples of yours are all going to fall here today. I wonder how you feel about this." Soaring Sky Holy King also snorted coldly. Dead geniuses were nothing. Only those who were alive had a future. They all had a hint of mockery. The people of Wushuang City had an ugly expression. Wushuang Holy King also said coldly, "You guys better not be happy too early. It's still not certain who will emerge victorious." "What? Are you guys thinking of turning the tables?" Desolate Sky Holy King sneered. "How is that possible? So what if the other party was a genius?" There were only a few of them. They were no match for the other holy cities. The surrounding people also shook their heads and sighed. They all felt that Wushuang City was really finished this time. They were surrounded, and none of them would be able to break out. These people are too despicable. Yu Ruo gritted her teeth. Shangguan Shaoxian and the others' faces also turned pale. They knew that the upcoming battle would be very difficult. Lu Yuan took a deep breath. As the third disciple, he was the leader now that Fu Hongye was not around. He was the leader, so he said, "Listen up, if there's a chance, break out of the encirclement. Leave by yourself. Leave as many as you can." Obviously, he was prepared for the worst. Everyone took a deep breath. However, Lin Xian said, "Senior brothers, don't worry. If they were to compete in numbers, they would be courting death." Hearing this, Yu Ruo and the others were stunned. What does he mean? One should know that even if all the people of Wushuang City came, there were only 11 of them. In addition to Murong Qingqing's Kunlun Pavilion, there were only 2 forces. It was impossible for them to fight back. On the opposite side, the people of Acheron Palace and Great Desolate Mansion sneered coldly. "You really don't know what's good for you. Looks like you won't cry until you see the coffin. Well, I'll let you know what despair is. These people were emitting terrifying nomological laws. They would torture these people to death. Lin Xian sneered and didn't care. To be honest, he wasn't afraid of competing in numbers. In the next moment, he took out the blue dragon horn. Then, he used it, and a deep and resonant dragon roar spread out in all directions. Is it a sonic attack? Be careful. When the surrounding powerhouses of the holy city saw this scene, they quickly put up a defense. One nomological law after another was formed and shrouded them. However, they were soon stunned. Because they realized that it wasn't a sonic attack. They weren't affected. What's this then? The people outside were also stunned. Is this kid deliberately mystifying them? When the powerhouses of the Dragon Clan all over the world heard this sound, their expressions changed. It was the sound of the blue dragon horn. It was the sound of gathering. Go quickly. The people of the 3 dragon clans quickly gathered in the direction of the sound. On the other side, the powerhouses of the holy cities were furious. They felt that Lin Xian was playing with them. This kid was deliberately mystifying them. Ignore them and attack directly. These people were angry. The nomological laws on their bodies completely erupted. However, at this moment, a dragon's voice came from afar. Then, countless dragon auras sounded between heaven and earth. Dragon shadows rushed into the clouds. He quickly rushed over here. The blue dragon clan was here. An angry roar sounded. Then, the people of the blue dragon clan descended from the sky. They arrived nearby. The surrounding people were stunned. Are the people of the dragon clan here? The situation of the battle had become even more confusing. The people of the Acheron Palace frowned. People of the dragon clan? Ignore them. The people of the demon city walked out and said, Friends of the dragon clan, we are dealing with some matters. Please don't interfere. The one who spoke was a pitch-black lion. He was also a mutant. He was very powerful. However, after the powerhouses of the blue dragon clan heard this, they snorted coldly and ignored him. Instead, they went directly to Lin Xian and the others. Sword Maniac, it's really you. Meng Qing smiled. As for the powerhouses of the blue dragon clan, their expressions were solemn. They took a deep breath. Young master, why did you summon us? What's going on? The people of the demon city were stunned. The dark lion's expression also became incomparably ugly. He was a mid-stage holy venerable and a mutant. The people of the blue dragon clan dared to ignore him. The others were even more shocked. The people of the blue dragon clan were so respectful to Lin Xian. What was going on? Chapter 42-52. Even the elders of the holy cities outside were stunned. The experts of the 3 holy cities took a deep breath. They naturally knew what it was, but they didn't say anything. And in the trial space, there were countless terrifying sword lights slashing over from afar. Were the experts of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion here again? They all turned their heads to look. But soon, they realized that it wasn't the case. Because these sword lights carried an extremely powerful aura of the Tao of Dragons. People of the Saber Dragon race. The people of the Demon City exclaimed. The people of the other sacred cities were also shocked. Another dragon race had arrived. When the people of the dragon race arrived, they also looked at Lin Xian. Why did the young master summon us? What? The surrounding people were dumbfounded. What was going on? The Saber Dragon race was actually so respectful to Lin Xian. From their words, it seemed that the 2 dragon races were here because of Lin Xian's summon. When did Lin Xian summon them? Could it be because of the horn just now? Winged Dragon race greets the young master. In the sky, a storm swept across the 9 heavens. One figure after another descended. Their wings covered the sky. They were the people of the Winged Dragon race. They also came and stood beside Lin Xian. The 3 dragon races had Lin Xian as their leader. Everyone was stunned by this scene. The sacred kings outside narrowed their eyes. Some of them looked at the 3 dragon races with a solemn expression. Among them, the soaring sky sacred king gritted his teeth. Could it be that the kid had the Azure Dragon horn? That was a peerless treasure of the Azure Dragon race. It was actually obtained by a human? These sacred kings had naturally heard of the legend of the Azure Dragon horn. But in their opinion, it was impossible for such a thing to be spread. They didn't expect it to be in Lin Xian's hands. Damn it, they were too careless. The desolate sky, sacred king, and the silver corpse, sacred king's faces turned ugly. Among them, the soaring sky, sacred king stood up and looked into the distance. Are the three dragon races really willing to listen to the orders of a human? Why don't we work together to kill that kid? And you guys can regain control of the Azure Dragon Horn. This way, it will be beneficial to both of us. The moment these words came out, the other sacred kings gasped. It seemed that these people actually had designs on the Dragon Balls. The faces of the people from Peerless City changed. Peerless Saint King even stood up and sneered. What? You want to use despicable means again? You can try it. The powerhouses of the three dragon tribes looked at each other, then shook their heads and sighed. One of the elders stood up and said calmly, Soaring Sky Saint King, you must be joking. The Azure Dragon Horn's approval is not something anyone can change. We are also powerless. After he finished speaking, he sat down again and no longer paid any attention to him. Damn it! Soaring Sky Saint King's face turned ugly. The other party was actually ignoring him. He couldn't believe it. The Silver Corpse Saint King and the others also had a cold expression as they communicated through voice transmissions. It was fine. So what if the three great dragon clans were here? We still have the advantage. Indeed, in addition to the Yellow Spring Hall, Great Desolation Mansion, and Myriad Demon City, they also had the Lightning God City and Myriad Sword Pavilion. They were the five forces. Other than that, they could also negotiate with the Purple Sun Palace and the Spirit Gathering Pavilion. They wanted the other party to join their camp. This way, they would become even stronger. He didn't believe that these people could overturn the heavens. In the space, the people of the five sacred cities were also shocked. Even the people of Peerless City were shocked. Murong Qingsheng and the others were also stunned. Lin Xian said in a deep voice, I have summoned you guys here for a reason. Follow me to battle. All right. Meng Qing nodded. She and Lin Xian were friends, so she naturally wouldn't have any objections. The people of the Winged Dragon Tribe and Sword Dragon Tribe were stunned. To be honest, they weren't willing to fight with the five sacred cities. They didn't want to be involved in this mess. But when they saw the Azure Dragon Horn in Lin Xian's hand, they sighed. The other party had the Azure Dragon Horn, which could command the dragons. But at this moment, a voice rang out. What right do you have to order us around? The moment this voice rang out, the people of the three Dragon Balls were stunned. What was going on? They had already recognized the other party's identity. Who was the one resisting? Lin Xian frowned as well. He turned around and saw two figures flying over from afar. They were beginner sacred masters. One of them was like a demonic beast, with a demonic aura around him. He even had scales on his face and a tail on his back. He must be from the Flood Dragon tribe. Lin Xian frowned. Beside the woman stood a burly man with dragon horns on his forehead. The aura of the Way of the Dragon on his body was extremely powerful. What's going on? Lin Xian frowned. Meng Qing was also stunned. She then said, Songju, what are you doing? Are you going against the orders of the Azure Dragon Horn? This man was from the Azure Dragon tribe. He had been training in the outside world. This time, he joined in to oppose Lin Xian. Lin Xian said coldly when he saw the other party. He took out the Azure Dragon Horn. When Songju saw this, a cold light flashed in his eyes. A third eye appeared in the middle of his brows. It was the eye of the Azure Dragon. It was emitting a green light and looked extremely mysterious. He fixed his gaze on the Azure Dragon Horn. Brat, this item belongs to the Dragon Tribe. What right do you have to take it? Hand over the Azure Dragon Horn obediently, and I'll give you a chance to live. Otherwise, you'll die a horrible death. A cold voice sounded. The lady from the Demon Tribe laughed. Since when did the Dragon Tribe allow a human to manipulate them? I think you guys should listen to Songju. When she said this, the faces of the three dragon tribes darkened. The people from the Demon City sneered because the lady from the Demon Tribe was on their side. From the looks of it, they had already succeeded. Let these people fight amongst themselves first. Why? Are your souls affected? You're Songju, right? Looks like you don't know what's good for you. Don't you know who I am? I'll give you one last chance. Listen to my orders. Otherwise, you know the consequences. Song Ju sneered. You're just an ant, and you want to order me around. I have the eye of the azure parasol. I'm the best candidate for the azure dragon horn. Now, I want it back to its rightful owner. With a roar, the dragon aura on his body surged. The eye between his brows emitted a shocking light and charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's face darkened. He attacked mercilessly. The 10 laws formed the 10 ultimate formation again and attacked, shattering that green gaze into pieces. In the next moment, his cold voice sounded. Since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me. He activated the Great Dragon Sword Soul and the Dragon Tribe's breathing technique. A terrifying dragon aura surged. At this moment, Lin Xian was like a resurrected dragon. The powerful dragon aura shrouded the 9 heavens. At this moment, everyone's face changed. This aura, is this brat really a human? Is he also a member of the Dragon Ball? Song Ju was originally disdainful. As long as he killed this human brat, he would be able to get the Azure Dragon Horn. By then, he would be able to command the 3 dragon tribes. Who would be able to go against him? But now, when he sensed the aura coming from this person, his expression changed. Impossible. What a terrifying dragon aura. No one in the 3 dragon tribes could use it. Who was this person? Why was his dragon aura so pure? Could it be that he was more powerful than the 3 dragon tribes? Or was he from the Emperor tribe, the nest of 10,000 dragons? At this moment, he was scared out of his wits. Chapter 42:53. The aura was too terrifying. The lady from the Jiao Dragon tribe was forced to kneel on the ground, unable to resist. Song Ju, who was beside him, looked pale as he roared crazily. Impossible. When he realized that it was the truth, he quickly retreated. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? With a roar, he unleashed his power. The 10 extinction swords turned into an eternal radiance and slashed forward. The sword slashed down and Song Ju was split into 2. His soul was destroyed. Was he killed? The people from the Blue Dragon tribe narrowed their eyes. The others were also shocked. Lin Xian said coldly as he held the blue dragon leg in his hand. Who would dare to disobey? At this moment, the 3 dragon tribes were convinced. Lin Xian's voice continued to resound. Everyone obeyed and attacked the 5 sacred cities. As soon as he finished speaking, he took the lead and charged forward. The 10 extinction swords formation exploded and split 2 sacred masters apart. The other 4 sacred masters were sent flying backward. Damn it! Fight back! The people from the 5 sacred cities also roared in anger and quickly attacked. In an instant, the people from the Kunlun Pavilion and the 3 dragon tribes also erupted. The battle between the 2 sides was extremely intense. Everyone was stunned. Such a battle was enough to destroy everything. Fortunately, this was the trial ground. It was a supreme existence that had been set up for tens of thousands of years. That was why they could withstand it. Otherwise, no matter how many worlds there were outside, they would have been destroyed. Lin Xian was unstoppable as he destroyed everything in his path. No one could stop him. In the end, only the middle sacred masters could come forward. The one who attacked was the Dark Lion from the Demon City. He roared and charged forward. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. The 10 extinction swords formation was in front of him, and he was forced to retreat. However, in the process of retreating, he had injured 2 experts from the Great Desolate Mansion. One could imagine his strength. How would the situation turn out? Those who were watching the battle outside looked extremely solemn. No one could predict the outcome of such a battle. The people from the Acheron Hall gritted their teeth. The Sacred Kings looked extremely solemn. They couldn't wait to rush in and kill everyone. The battle was exceptionally intense. At that moment, countless purple auras appeared in the sky. Another holy city had joined in. The people from the Purple Sun Palace had come. Which force did they come to join? After the people from Purple Sun Palace arrived, they actually joined Yellow Spring Palace. The 5 great sacred cities of the Acheron Hall were overjoyed. This was great. Their side had become the 6 great sacred cities. They didn't believe that the other party could resist them. Lin Xian roared. Aside from the aura of the Way of the Dragon, there was also an extremely terrifying devil chi. He swung his sword at the sky. The heavenly devil cover region. Boundless demonic clouds billowed with terrifying power. Then, the demons in the distance also rushed over. The members of the Sky Devil race quickly descended. Lin Xian brandished his sword. Kill. The sky demons joined the fray and charged over. Did the heavenly devil tribe join in as well? The people from the Acheron Palace and the Great Desolation Mansion looked grim once again. The small advantage he had just gained was gone again. However, they soon despaired, because they realized that this was just the beginning. Then, countless bells rang in the distance. Xian came with the people from the Acacia Palace and said with a smile, Lin Gongzi, I'm here to help you. She also joined Lin Xian's side, increasing the power of Lin Xian's side once again. Not long after, Guan Songhai also came. Sword Maniac, I didn't expect you to be Lin Wudi. You really surprised me. He laughed and also joined Lin Xian's side. In an instant, Lin Xian's side became the 8 great sacred cities. There was a shocking reversal of the situation. The people from the Acheron Palace couldn't resist at all. In an instant, they were retreating. Run. The difference between the 2 great sacred cities was too great for them to resist. Therefore, these people prepared to retreat. They were really mad. To be honest, they never thought that Lin Xian could gather the 8 great sacred cities. It was simply heaven-defying. Those who were watching the battle outside were also shocked. The sacred kings all stood up. Their faces were incomparably ugly. Their hearts were bleeding. With such a difference in strength, they couldn't resist at all. In just a short while, many of their geniuses and experts had fallen. Damn it! Xiang's sacred king roared. His face was terrifyingly gloomy. Wushuang's sacred king snorted coldly. Serves them right. Wushuang City and Xiang Palace didn't have any grudges, but they chose to go against them at the critical moment. Now that they were killed, it could only be said that they deserved it. As for the people from the Acheron Palace and the Great Desolate Mansion, their teeth were about to shatter. They really didn't expect that a dead young man was still alive. Moreover, it brought about such an earth-shattering change. Kill. Lin Xian took the lead and rushed over with his men. With the 10-terminal formation activated, he seemed to have turned into a killing god. Ordinary early-stage sacred venerables couldn't resist at all. Only mid-stage sacred venerables could resist. The 6 great sacred cities, who were originally proud, were now forced to retreat. Above the 9 heavens, Huang Shisan, who was fighting with Fu Hongya, was also angry when he saw this scene. Damn it! His figure flickered and wanted to go down to help, but Fu Hongya shot out a red leaf light. It formed a crack in the sky, blocking his path. Your opponent is me. Damn it! Huang Shisan shouted angrily. Do you really think that I can't defeat you? At this moment, he unleashed his strength, and the desolation aura on his body kept shattering. He summoned a desolate valley. Countless phantoms appeared from it and rushed towards Fu Hongya. Fu Hongya's body shone brightly, and the phantoms of maple leaves appeared behind her. Endless maple leaves, along with terrifying laws, rushed over. Both of them were really angry. The battle was terrifying. In the trial ground, in an uninhabited mountain range, the void cracked open. A figure walked out. It was Gu Feng. At this moment, Gu Feng was expressionless as he walked inside. A voice came from inside. Who is it? As soon as the voice came out, the surrounding mountains kept shattering. Gu Feng said, It's me. A figure floated out from the crack. It was actually a head, surrounded by chaotic sword light. It was Wan Jianyi, who had escaped previously. Wan Jianyi's injuries were too serious. Moreover, he was injured by the 10 ultimate sword formation in the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Therefore, his broken body couldn't recover in a short time. But fortunately, with Gu Feng's help, he was able to escape. As long as he had enough resources and time, he could recover. Thank you for your help this time. Don't worry, I'll remember this favor. If you need any help in the future, just let me know. A look of gratitude appeared in Wan Jianyi's eyes. At the same time, there was a trace of killing intent. That damned Lin Wudi, I'll definitely not let him go. The pain I suffered today, I'll pay it back 10,000 times in the future. Hearing this, Gu Feng's lips curled into a smile. Is that so? I have something I need your help with now. What is it? Wan Jiani was surprised. He was seriously injured now, and his strength was very weak. Now that Gu Feng wanted his help, he was very puzzled. Gu Feng flipped his hand and took out an ancient rune. He said, "It's simple. That is, submit to me." Chapter 42:54. This sudden change left Wan Jiani dumbfounded. When he was enveloped by the ancient runes, he felt an intense soul attack. Then, he roared crazily, "Damn it! What are you doing?" The wanton sword light that surrounded him also rushed out, as if it could slash the heavens and destroy the earth. Gu Feng used his spatial divine ability to create many large cracks, directly banishing the power of the chaotic sword light into the void universe. In the next moment, he said coldly, "Don't you want to repay me? Then I'll use you." "Damn it! You want me to be your battle servant?" What a joke. Wan Jiani also understood that he was really angry. Previously, he was still grateful that Gu Feng had joined forces with him. But who would have thought that Gu Feng was targeting him? He was a peerless sword venerable, extremely powerful, and had mastered the eightfold sword formation and cultivated the chaotic sword chi. His future was limitless. How could he lower his head to others? "It's useless. Stop struggling. If you were at your peak, I naturally wouldn't dare to use such methods to subdue you. But now, you're heavily injured and can't even use 1/10 of your power. Although you have the chaotic sword chi, it's just a trace. It's really too little. How can you fight against me at my peak?" Speaking of this, the spatial laws on his body became even more terrifying. It was as if the entire world was under his control. "Damn it!" Wan Jiani gritted his teeth. "Even if I die, I won't let you get what you want. I might even drag you down with me." Speaking of this, the chaotic sword light became even more terrifying. But he still underestimated Gu Feng. A terrifying black hole appeared on Gu Feng's body, directly enveloping the chaotic sword light. At the same time, his cold voice sounded, "Don't worry. I'm not making you my battle servant. I'm just planting a seal in your soul. I only need you to help me with some things. I won't make things difficult for you. As for your soul, it's no different from usual, and I'll even give you a chance." What chance? Wan Jiani was stunned. He didn't believe it. Because Gu Feng obviously wanted to control him and borrow his power. "The chaotic energy that you cultivated is too weak. I can send you to the real chaotic land to cultivate. I can let you cultivate the sword of chaos completely." What? Wan Jiani's pupil shrank. Then he snorted. "What kind of joke is this? Do you think I'm so gullible?" Gu Feng sneered. "You are too naive. The place I am talking about is naturally not the second astral realm, but planet Shiyuan. To tell you the truth, I came from planet Shiyuan. Planet Primordial had a holy land called the All Beginnings Holy Land, which cultivated the primal chaos energy. As for the legends of planet Primordial, I think you should have heard some of them." Once these words were spoken, Wan Jiani fell silent. Indeed, among the myriad of worlds, there were two worlds that were the most unique. Planet Shiyuan was one of them. At this moment, Gu Feng spoke again. "I have another secret to tell you. The person you hate the most is Lin Wudi. He also comes from the origin star." What? Wan Jiani's pupil shrank. This time, he was truly stunned. That guy was actually from the primordial star. No wonder he was so terrifying. "Damn it," he said through gritted teeth. "I can join hands with you, but can you not place a soul restriction on me?" Gu Feng's expression also turned cold. He said, "This is not up to you. Now, I'll give you two choices. The first is to listen to me and place a soul restriction on you, and I'll give you a good fortune. Or I'll destroy your soul." Wan Jiani had no choice. He had no strength to resist at all. He could only listen to the other party. In the next moment, he felt the ancient runes enter his soul. Then, a tearing pain came over him, almost causing him to faint. In the next moment, a look of shock appeared in his eyes. He felt an ancient voice in his soul reminding him. It told him to respect the person in front of him. He knew that he would never be able to escape from Gu Feng's control unless he could break through and become a Sage King. Then, he would be able to get rid of the soul restriction. Very good. Gu Feng's lips curled up into a cold smile. Subduing such a peerless expert would make it much easier for him to act in the future. What happened here was very secretive. Other than the two of them, no one else knew about it. This was because the other people were attracted by the battle. The 6 great holy lands could not resist at all. Hence, they fled in all directions. On the other hand, the 8 forces led by Lin Xian continued their pursuit. At this moment, not only did they want to snatch the tokens, but they also wanted to eliminate these people as much as possible. Thus, a great pursuit began. In the sky, Fu Hongye and Huang Shisan were also locked in a fierce battle. Desolate God's Claw. The terrifying desolation law gushed out like a flood. Nothing could stop it. Huang Shisan's attack was extremely powerful. Those who were watching the battle from outside narrowed their eyes. They were also looking forward to the battle and were shocked. They wondered how the battle between these two old enemies would turn out. Fu Hongye naturally felt the terrifying power coming from the desolate God's Claw. His opponent was extremely powerful. He did not dare to underestimate him. In the next moment, he formed seals with his palms. Countless red leaves appeared in his hands. Then, he waved his arms. The collision between the two was earth-shattering. Huang Shisan had already summoned the desolate Grand Canyon. A few chains rushed out from the canyon. Then, there was a hazy figure. It was a majestic figure. It was abnormally powerful, like a deity. There was a terrifying aura about it. The experts of the sacred city outside were all shocked by this scene. What was that? Even the people from the great, desolate mansion were stunned. Some of the elders gasped. Could it be that thing? Did Huang Shisan succeed? Sacred King, desolate heaven looked solemn. He did not expect the battle to reach such a stage. It was too much for Huang Shisan to use such a technique. As soon as this majestic figure appeared, Fu Hongye continuously retreated. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. The red leaves he shot out turned into powder. There was nothing he could do. His opponent's strength was beyond his imagination. Even Huang Shisan's face turned pale. He coughed out a mouthful of blood. It was obvious that the person he had summoned was beyond his control. He used his blood to draw something on his forehead. It was a mysterious rune. Then, he formed seals with his palms. Then, a crack appeared on his forehead. A stone tablet flew out from the crack. The stone tablet was covered with cracks. Some parts of it were even broken and incomplete. However, the aura it emitted was too terrifying. Once that majestic figure appeared, it let out a roar. He dashed towards Huang Shisan. It seemed like he wanted to destroy the stone tablet. Huang Shisan quickly retreated. His blood dyed the stone steel, drawing out one line after another as they floated into the air. Then, a cold voice sounded. Kill him. Chapter 42:55. The figure stopped Fu Hongye in his tracks. He dashed towards Fu Hongye, his body bound by 6 chains. However, he was too strong. He could still shatter the heavens and earth even when he was bound by the chains. Oh no, Hongye is in danger. The people of Wushuang City tensed up when they saw this. The people of Great Desolate Mansion sneered. They did not expect Huang Shisan to be able to control Fu Hongye. This figure was really out of their expectations. It seemed that they had won this battle. Fu Hongye was dead, and Huang Shisan had joined the battle. Although Lin Xian and the others were stronger, they could still turn the tables. Huang Shisan, you are indeed stronger than before. However, it is still impossible for you to defeat me. Fu Hongye's eyes shone with a cold light. He quickly formed a seal with his palms. Then, the maple tree behind him started to sway rapidly. A terrifying aura spread out. The maple tree seemed to have come alive. Mysterious runes appeared on the maple tree. A terrifying energy spread out and dyed the heavens and earth in red. Countless people were shocked when they saw this. Even the experts of Sacred City were shocked. This Fu Hongye actually had such a shocking skill. It was truly inconceivable. Although the maple tree was just an illusion, it was becoming more and more real. It was as if it had transcended time and space. The heavens and earth started to sway along with the maple tree. Fu Hongye was extremely nervous. Even his hands were trembling slightly. It was clear that he had also used an ultimate technique that was beyond his strength. The ancient blood sealed everything. A deep sound was heard. Along with it, endless red leaves swept across the 9 heavens. The entire world was dyed red. Everything else lost its luster. The people who were watching the battle from outside narrowed their eyes. They saw that the maple tree was rapidly swaying, and boundless leaves were rushing out from it. Each of them had the power to seal the heavens and earth. Wherever they passed, everything would be sealed. There was no way to stop them. This mystique shocked them. Initially, Huang Shisan had a cold smile on his face. He knew that he was going to win this time. His opponent would not be able to stop him because he had cast a forbidden mystique. Even if he won, he would be severely injured. However, when he sensed the power of the red leaves that filled the sky, his expression turned incomparably ugly. In terms of power, it posed a threat to him. It could even affect that majestic figure. Damn it! His expression changed, and he spat out another mouthful of blood, staining the broken stone tablet. His palm continued to draw runes, and the majestic figure became even more terrifying. With a roar, his strength increased again. Then, under everyone's shocked gazes, it merged with the red maple leaves that filled the sky. Boom, boom, boom. An earth-shattering sound rang out as a terrifying storm of laws swept out in all directions. The originally red world was now filled with a desolate aura. Everywhere he passed, everything became barren and ruined. What happened? All the people in the space looked up, and even the experts of the holy city who were fighting stopped and turned their heads to look. They saw the destruction of the world. It was a battle between Fu Hongye and Huang Shisan. Someone cried out in alarm. Was the victor going to be decided? The people outside were even more nervous. The terrifying rumbling of the laws lasted for a long time before it slowly disappeared. Next, they saw a maple tree rooted between the sky and the earth, shaking nonstop. A figure stood under the maple tree. It was Fu Hongye. His face was pale. It was obvious that he had used up too much of his strength, but he still stood there. On the other side, Huang Shisan was sent flying while spitting out blood. His body was shattered. It was obvious that he had been severely injured in the previous battle. He had been completely suppressed. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they were all stunned. They could not believe it, especially the people of the great, desolate mansion. They felt like they were dreaming. That was Huang Shisan, and he had used the taboo god call. The figure that he had summoned was so terrifying that even a middle saint venerable would not be able to resist it. However, Fu Hongye had blocked it. It was unbelievable. At this moment, Fu Hongye made another move. The endless red maple leaves condensed into a red sword, which he held in his hand. Huang Shisan's pupils shrank. Damn it! He wanted to attack again. Was he trying to kill him? He quickly gathered his strength and fled into the distance. Buzz. In the next moment, the red maple leaves fell and landed on Huang Shisan's body. Desolate 13 tried to block the attack with the broken stone tablet. With a clang, the cracks on the steel became even more terrifying. 1/3 of the steel had turned into dust. Huang Shisan's heart was bleeding. He spat out blood and was sent flying. Fortunately, he was able to block this attack. Then, he used a secret technique and disappeared. Even Huang Shisan had been defeated. The people of the 6 great sacred cities still had hope, but when they saw this scene, they were terrified. Their scalps went numb. Run away. They ran away even faster. Fu Hongye wanted to chase after them. However, he soon frowned because he felt that an even more terrifying existence was descending. Retreat. Everyone, leave. He roared and quickly retreated. The endless maple leaves formed a red mountain in front of him to block the attack. Bang! He was sent flying. Not good. Senior brother Hongye is injured. Damn it! A late Saint Venerable is here. Yu Ruo, Lu Yuan, and the others cried out in alarm. Their faces became extremely grave. Sure enough, an old figure appeared in the sky. He stretched out a finger. Scram! At this moment, another voice rang out. It was an extremely terrifying voice. Following that, a sword light slashed down. How dare you attack my Wushuang city? Do you have the ability? Ling Hu Chueshue walked out and stood in the sky. He faced off against the powerful late Saint Venerable old man. At the same time, even more terrifying figures appeared in the surroundings. There were people from the Yellow Spring Hall and Linxian side. Those holy venerables seemed to have gathered as well. The surrounding people felt an extremely terrifying suppression. Although they were all holy venerables, their strength would undergo an earth-shattering change with every increase in cultivation. Compared to them, late Saint Venerables were too terrifying. They simply did not have the strength to resist. Immediately, everyone retreated. Lin Xian and the others also split up and started fighting on their own. After all, if they gathered together, they would be a big target. It would be easy for late Saint Venerables to target them. Big Brother Xian, what should we do? Morong Qingqing, Xin Jingqiu, and the others asked. Lin Xian said, be careful. Don't fight with those late Saint Venerables. I'll go deal with one person. After saying that, a cold murderous intent burst out of Ling Hu Chueshue's eyes. Then, he soared into the air and flew into the distance. Great desolate manor, it is time for you to pay a painful price. Chapter 42-56. Lin Xian left alone to hunt down Huang Shisan. Although Huang Shisan was a prodigy of the previous generation, he was very powerful and had already reached the middle stage of the sacred venerable realm. However, Huang Shisan had been severely injured in the battle with Fu Hongya. Lin Xian felt that this was a good opportunity, so he was ready to make a move. He activated his heavenly secret divine eyes, and a pair of divine eyes looked down from the sky. At the same time, he activated the ancient mirror to investigate. Soon, a smile appeared on his face. Is he hiding? Looks like he's seriously injured. Thinking of this, he increased his speed. There were a few mountains in front of him. Although they weren't tall, they exuded a primordial aura. It was like a divine mountain. Looks like Huang Shisan has chosen a good place to escape. After Lin Xian arrived, he felt an unusual aura, which made him feel shocked. In the next moment, he snorted and waved his hand. The blue dragon's 9 palms rushed out. It was as if the 9 divine dragons had come back to life. They blasted out in all directions. Suddenly, there was the sound of barriers breaking. It was obvious that Huang Shisan had set up a formation here. He's quite cautious, but it's useless. Lin Xian sneered. Come out, I've found you. No one came out from the front, but there were countless laws descending in the surroundings, sweeping in all directions. Soon, a sneer came from inside. Kid, how dare you come here alone? Are you here to die? Along with the voice, a figure walked out. It was Huang Shisan. At this moment, his body was stained with blood, which was unusually glaring. His face was extremely pale. However, his eyes were filled with endless killing intent that stirred the surrounding wind and clouds. He firmly locked onto Lin Xian. You're wrong. I'm not here to die. I'm here to kill you. Lin Xian said in a sonorous voice. Kill me? Huang Shisan looked up to the sky and laughed. His eyes were filled with disdain. Kid, do you think you can challenge me just because I'm injured? You're courting death. Looks like you still don't know the difference between us. Let me tell you, even if I'm injured, I'm not someone you can challenge. When the people outside saw this scene, they were also in an uproar. This Lin Xian was too audacious, wasn't he? Even he wanted to kill Huang Shisan. The faces of the people from the great desolate mansion turned ugly. The elders gritted their teeth and said, Kill this brat. Truth be told, they were worried about Desolate 13's injuries. If it was Fu Hongya who came after them, they would naturally be afraid. However, they didn't take Lin Xian seriously at all. The other party was strong, but he was only an early-stage holy venerate. However, Huang Shisan was a true middle-stage holy exalted. Die for me. Desolate 13 snorted coldly. 2 brilliant rays of light shot out from his eyes. Boundless divine rainbows streaked across the sky like 2 shooting stars. Suddenly, the sky and earth shook. The void continued to shatter as the ground cracked open. A terrifying power swept out towards Lin Xian. The expressions of those who were watching the battle from outside became solemn once again. Even though Huang Shisan was severely injured, he was still able to unleash a powerful attack. He wanted them to know that even if Huang Shisan was injured, he wasn't someone who could be defeated by just anyone. Lin Xian naturally knew this as well, so he didn't dare to be careless. In an instant, he unleashed 10 different types of laws. The 10 ultimate sword formation was instantly unleashed and surrounded him. Terrifying sword chi rose from the ground. It slashed forward. Boom, 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 boom. At this moment, the faces of the trial takers in the space changed once again. Who is it? They looked at the terrifying scene in the distance and gasped. Another top-notch expert was fighting. They didn't go over because they couldn't even take care of themselves. The 6 great sacred cities and the 8 major forces were fighting, and many late-stage holy venerates had also come out. Everyone had to focus on the battle when it broke out. However, the 6 great sacred cities were doomed to suffer heavy losses. It's useless. Now that you're severely injured, I can kill you. Lin Xian took a step forward. The sword chi on his body swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. At this moment, he was like a peerless sword, as if he could control the world. The 10 types of laws turned into sword chi and circled around him. He looked forward. You don't know what's good for you. Today, I'll use your head to show my might. Huang Shisan also shouted angrily. Suddenly, the surrounding sky and earth spun and shook for 1,000 miles. He was completely furious. At this moment, he swallowed a pill to suppress his injuries and then quickly charged over. Buzz, buzz, buzz. He waved his hand. The laws between heaven and earth surged violently, forming 5 scimitars with an extremely terrifying desolate aura. It could take away all life. The 5 scimitars were like crescent moons. They descended from the sky and enveloped Lin Xian. The moon was in the wilderness. A powerful divine skill was unleashed. Lin Xian snorted and unleashed his sword technique to fight back. The 2's attacks were earth-shattering. The sonorous sound of swords and sabers rang out. Lin Xian felt a huge force coming toward him. It made his hand go numb. He snorted and activated the great dragon sword soul with all his strength. A shocking force erupted again. It forced the 5 scimitars back. Huang Shisan also had eyes. Damn it! His opponent's strength was beyond his imagination. Although his opponent was only a small saint, his strength was far beyond an early-stage Saint Venerable. He was not far from a middle-stage Saint Venerable. Moreover, he was injured previously. At this moment, he could not unleash his peak strength at all. He was actually forced back by his opponent. With a roar, he formed seals with his palms and blasted over like lightning. They were like 2 black suns descending from the sky. This aura was really terrifying. Desolate sky bright moon seal. The 10 ultimate sword formation shook. Lin Xian also felt his blood and qi churning. He spat out a mouthful of blood. However, his eyes became even brighter. 9 young divine body. His physique bloomed with endless radiance. A terrifying force burst out. Lin Xian continued to wield his sword aura and slashed forward. Kill. The 10 ultimate sword chi used the Taiji diagram as the foundation. It spun continuously and brought with it the power to destroy everything. It collided fiercely with the other party's desolate sky-bright music seal. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Then, the 2's ultimate skills disappeared. The people who were watching the battle were dumbfounded. What? They were evenly matched. Could this Lin Xian really contend with Desolate 13? It was too unbelievable. They felt that they had gone crazy. This guy was fighting across several realms. The faces of the people of the great desolate mansion turned ugly. Gritting his teeth, Desolate 13 roared and charged forward at full speed. Every step he took was intertwined with the great Tao. One step seemed to cover 1,000 miles. In an instant, he arrived in front of Lin Xian and blasted out a punch. The clouds in all directions moved. Heaven and earth instantly lost their color. Heavenly steel palm. The terrifying fist turned into a huge, heavenly steel and soared up into the sky. It wanted to suppress Lin Xian. With a roar, Lin Xian also punched out with his fist. The 10 senses sword formation revolved around his fist and exploded with the power of the tiger demon fist. Boom, boom. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. All kinds of skills were used. It was unimaginable. At this moment, a terrifying radiance burst out from Lin Xian's eyes. Heavenly secret divine eyes, overturning heaven and earth. Desolate 13th's body trembled. A look of confusion appeared in his eyes. His soul was violently impacted. Then, he vomited blood and was sent flying. Arg! He roared at the sky. Blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. The injuries that he had been suppressing erupted again. Many cracks appeared on his body. Not good. Desolate 13 was injured. Moreover, his previous injuries had erupted. When the people outside saw this scene, they all cried out in surprise. Chapter 42:57. How dare you injure my soul? I'll kill you. Desolate 13 roared at the sky. His glabella split open, and the broken stone tablet appeared once again. It suppressed the heaven and earth and blocked the terrifying soul attack. At the same time, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and a mysterious talisman appeared on the stone tablet. Then, a huge canyon appeared behind him. The sound of chains rattling could be heard from the canyon. Then, a tall figure appeared. The figure was abnormally blurry, but it was indomitable and intimidating. There were 6 chains wrapped around his body, and the ends of the chains were in the canyon. Obviously, this person was sealed in the canyon. Just who was it that could seal such a supreme existence? It was truly unbelievable. Kid, let's see how you're going to die. Desolate 13's face turned even paler, but he smiled. He knew that his opponent would not be able to stop him. Even if his opponent had 10 types of laws and could form the 10 senses sword formation, he would not be able to stop this figure. Unless his opponent's cultivation was at the same level as him, a mid-stage Saint Venerable, then he would have a chance to fight him. Otherwise, he would definitely die. Outside, the people of the great desolate mansion were also laughing. They knew that there was no suspense in this battle. Although Huang Shursen had suffered even more severe injuries after this battle, he was still happy that he had managed to kill Lin Xian once and for all. The people of Acheron Hall and Myriad Demon City sneered. The elders of Wushuang City were extremely nervous. After all, it was this divine ability that had injured Fu Hongya. No matter how strong Fu Hongya was, she could not kill Desolate 13. Could Lin Xian do it now? It was not that they did not believe in Lin Xian. Lin Xian's talent was already heaven-defying. He was probably stronger than Desolate 13 and Fu Hongya. However, Lin Xian was only a small saint. He was still far from becoming a Saint Venerable, not to mention fighting a mid-stage Saint Venerable. It was too difficult. Are you finally using your strongest trump card? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. I admit that your trump card is very strong. But so what? Do you think I don't have any trump cards? Lin Xian sent out his trump card. The Great Dragon Sword Spirit merged with the 10 Senses Sword Formation. He gripped the dragon-shaped sword shadow, and the power of the 10 Ultimate Sword Formation enveloped it completely. Then, Lin Xian roared, Immortal. The sword slashed down. At this moment, he did not hold back at all. All the power in his body was gathered in this sword. With one sword strike, his body became somewhat unstable. However, he still clenched his teeth and roared out, gripping it tightly. Under this sword, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Even the expressions of the late-stage holy venerables in the distance changed. Oh no, who is it? They felt a chill run down their spines and turned their heads to look. Huang Shursan's expression changed drastically. How was this possible? How could his opponent possess such an attack? He roared crazily and wanted to retreat, but it was too late. He could only resist. When he thought of this, he unleashed his power to the extreme, disregarding the consequences of activating the figure. The person who was chained up in the canyon also roared at the sky when he felt the power of the dragon-shaped sword soul. His palms split open the sky like a mountain, and his aura was oppressive. Then, he clapped his palms together. It was as if it had turned into a peerless heavenly blade, slashing forward. Clang! With one strike, the sound of thunder could be heard, spreading for tens of millions of miles. The people in the distance, Their ears were bleeding from the deafening sound. In the collision, the person's arm suddenly shattered, and countless cracks appeared. He was sent flying back with a roar, crashing into the canyon. The illusory image of the canyon faded. Then, under this sword, a crack actually appeared in the canyon. Damn it, this is impossible. Seeing this, the people of the great desolate mansion roared crazily. What the hell is this? How could it be so terrifying? The eyes of the other holy kings were also shining with extremely terrifying light. They pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands, trying to see clearly. Huang Shishan was not in the mood to care about what kind of trump card it was. He only wanted to escape. However, he could not do so. After the cracks appeared in the canyon, it automatically disappeared. He could only use the broken stone tablet to block in front of him. However, this time, the stone tablet shattered into pieces, and he was also slashed apart by the sword strike. Throughout the entire process, there was nothing blocking it. It was too terrifying. When the elders of the holy city saw this scene, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. This kid was simply heaven-defying. There was still hope for the people of the great desolate mansion. They were only slashed apart, so they should not die. Indeed, at their level, it was not easy for them to die. However, after waiting for a long time, they realized that the slashed body did not fuse back together. In fact, Huang Shishan's body fell to the ground. What was going on? Was he dead? This saber strike had directly annihilated the soul. Those people were going crazy. Lin Xian also fell from the sky, crashing into the ground. His face had also turned incomparably pale. The sword strike just now was extremely powerful, but it came at a great price. All the energy in his body was sucked away. He did not even have the strength to stand up. If anyone else came here, he would be in great danger. The people of the great desolate mansion went crazy after seeing Huang Shishan killed with a single slash. The people of the Acheron Hall in Myriad Demon City were also nervous. They did not expect their opponent to have such a trump card. They could not believe it. However, when they saw that their opponent was completely powerless, they revealed a ferocious expression. Great, now is the time. They must take this opportunity to kill their opponent. These Saint Kings formed seals with their palms and actually used an exceptional mystical power and began to transmit their voices inside. This was their only chance to kill Lin Xian. Moreover, they were very interested in the dragon-shaped sword shadow that Lin Xian had used. It was definitely a terrifying treasure. Some of the Sage Kings were also interested in the Azure Dragon Horn. This was because this thing could command a group of dragons. The Soaring Sage King wanted it very much. There were also Sage Kings who wanted Lin Xian's 9 young divine body. It could be said that Lin Xian's body was full of treasures. If they could get their hands on it, they might be able to break through again. These Sage Kings did not speak, but they secretly gathered their energy and used powerful methods to transmit messages. Soon, the Soaring Sage King's face was covered in cold sweat. The Silver Corpse Sage King's face was also pale. After all, this was an inheritance that had been passed down for countless years. Outsiders would not be able to interfere. It was already so difficult for them to transmit a message. However, with so many Sage Kings secretly working together, they really succeeded. They managed to transmit a message. Soon, the experts who were still fighting received the message, and their eyes lit up. They turned and rushed into the distance. Lin Wudi must die. They must get what Lin Wudi had. Everyone's eyes were red, especially those late-stage sage venerables. They tore the void apart. Where are you going? Linghu Chueshue roared and rushed over with his men. These people were very fast, and it did not take long for them to reach the mountain range from before. When they saw that the entire world had been split apart, they were stunned. What kind of battle had happened before? Look, it's Huang Shishan. Some sage venerables almost fainted when they saw the scene before them. The people of the great desolate mansion knelt on the ground. This was impossible. Huang Shishan was killed? Who was it? Chapter 42:58. The scene that unfolded before their eyes had truly shocked these people. Soon, they discovered that besides Huang Shishan, there was another figure. Another figure was also lying in the ruins. It was Lin Wudi. Countless people exclaimed. Could it be that Lin Wudi had killed Huang Shan? The surrounding people went crazy. Some of the experts from the holy city looked gloomy. They had already heard about this from the Holy King. Their goal was to capture Lin Xian. So, when they saw this scene, they attacked without saying a word. A huge palm covered the sky and the earth. It was like an ancient demonic mountain pressing down on Lin Xian. The powerful force caused the entire world to tremble. It was a late-stage holy venerate from the Yellow Spring Hall. His attack was shocking. The surrounding people felt their blood boil. Fu Hongya roared, "How dare you!" Ling Hu Chueshue brandished his sword and blocked the Yellow Spring hand. Several experts from the surrounding holy city attacked. For a moment, Lin Xian was in extreme danger. "Brother Xian, run!" Murong Qingqing exclaimed. At the same time, she ordered the late-stage holy venerate from the Kunlun Pavilion to attack. However, Lin Xian couldn't escape at all. Not good. Yu Rua's eyes were black and white. She frowned as she looked ahead. He has almost no energy left in his body. Take him away quickly. Lu Yuan also moved. The others also wanted to save Lin Xian. However, the experts from the other holy city sneered. They absolutely wouldn't allow these people to attack. For a moment, the world was completely sealed. Want to save him? In your next life, today will be the day of his death. Cold sneers could be heard one after another. These late-stage holy venerates held their swords and walked forward. It's over. The people watching the battle shook their heads and sighed. This time, Lin Xian would die without a doubt. Lin Xian's face was extremely pale when he saw this scene. He swallowed a pill to recover some of his strength. However, this bit of energy couldn't help him escape. Moreover, he didn't plan to escape. Didn't these people want to kill him? Fine. He would accompany them to the end. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and formed a seal with great difficulty before his voice sounded. Everyone, please enter the dream. At this critical moment, he activated the illusion leaf. Rays of brilliant light burst out from the leaves and encapsulated the heavens and earth. In the next moment, everyone felt as if the world was turning upside down. When they came back to their senses, they realized that their surroundings had already changed. What's going on? What happened? A few people cried out in alarm, not understanding at all. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up into a smile. He was no longer weak here. Instead, he stood in the void. Welcome to my world, where I am the master. What makes you think you can dominate us? You don't even have the slightest bit of strength left. How are you going to dominate? An early-stage, holy venerate demonic beast from the 10,000 Fiends city laughed coldly. That holy venerate demonic beast attacked mercilessly, throwing a punch that immediately shattered space. It looked like he wanted to knock Lin Xian away. However, Lin Xian did indeed move his finger. A bolt of lightning descended from the sky and shattered that holy venerate demonic beast. A bloody mist spread out, startling everyone. What's going on? Did he recover his strength? Damn it! How can this be? Those early-stage holy venerates all retreated, as if they were facing a great enemy. After all, Lin Xian, at his peak, could kill early-stage holy venerates as easily as chopping vegetables. There was no need to be afraid. He could not do anything here. However, the late-stage holy venerates smiled coldly. So what if the other party recovered his strength? One of the old men threw a saber strike. A terrifying saber light swept out in all directions. The surrounding people were knocked back. However, Lin Xian's figure instantly vanished. He appeared in another location. It is useless. You cannot injure me at all. I am the master here. What's going on? That old man's expression sank. Soon, someone exclaimed, "Damn it! This is not the real world. This is the spiritual world. We fell for an illusion. Damn it! Unseal it." Someone formed hand seals, wanting to escape from the illusion. However, he discovered that it was impossible. The people watching the battle outside were also stunned. They realized that the experts of the sacred city were all standing there without moving. It was as if they had turned into statues. Damn it! What's going on? Some of the holy city elders roared, "Quickly attack." However, some of the sage rulers frowned. Could it be that they fell for an illusion? That can't be. Lin Wuti is already injured to this extent. How can he still use such a powerful illusion? Damn it! Did he use a sage ruler weapon? An extremely cold light burst out of God King Soaring Sky's eyes. To be able to instantly control so many late-stage holy venerates, this was definitely the power of a sage ruler. However, there were also people who frowned. That should not be the case. If Lin Wuti used this power, he would immediately be suppressed. He might even be sent out and disqualified. However, that was not the case now. For a moment, these sage rulers could not understand. The dream leaf was indeed given to Lin Xian by a sage ruler. However, this thing relied on Lin Xian's soul as its foundation. Hence, the judgment of power was based on Lin Xian's soul. Lin Xian was a ruler. He was not a sage ruler. Hence, this space would not treat the dream leaf as Sage Wang Li. Lin Xian took a deep breath and a smile appeared on his face. He said, "Senior brother, quickly attack. I can't hold on for too long." Indeed, although the dream leaf was miraculous, it could not control so many experts for a long time. Furthermore, there were several late-stage holy venerates. Lin Xian felt that he could imprison these people for 5 seconds. I know. Linghu Chueshue and the others took a deep breath. Among them, the eyes of the experts from Kunlun, Azure Sea Pavilion, and Joyful Union Palace also lit up. This was an opportunity for them. As for the experts from Yellow Spring Hall, they roared, "Quickly break out of the encirclement." Since this was an illusion set up by the other party, they had to break it. Instantly, all sorts of auras erupted. These people's souls spread out in all directions. As for Lin Xian, he snorted coldly. Imprison everything. Lin Xian was the ruler of the entire illusionary world. Hence, he gave the order to imprison the surroundings. The people from the holy cities could not move. Oh no! Linghu Chueshue and the others roared, "Quickly attack." They erupted with their strongest strength and attacked frantically. Pooh! A sword light flashed, and the Yellow Spring Hall's late-stage holy venerate got chopped in half. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all went crazy. Is heaven really that horrifying? Quickly run. They struggled even more intensely. The surrounding space shook rapidly. Clearly, it could not hold on any longer. Lin Xian showed a cold expression. They only had 5 seconds. Even Lin Xian was not confident of how far he could go. 5 seconds was very short. However, it was enough for these experts. Boom! The 10,000 Fiend City's late-stage holy venerate got torn apart. The Kunlun Mountain suppressed the great desolate mansion's late-stage holy venerate. The Thunder God's late-stage holy venerate got drowned by the Azure Sea's water. As for the early-stage holy venerates and middle-stage holy venerates, they suffered even more disastrous losses. The Thunder God's late-stage holy venerate exploded. 5 seconds passed quickly. During this time, the holy venerates all suffered severe injuries. After 5 seconds, the surviving late-stage holy venerates roared crazily. Crack! The entire illusionary world shattered like a mirror. In the next moment, the holy venerates could move again. They returned to the real world. Quickly run. Their thoughts were not revenge, but escape. Earlier, they had truly suffered severe injuries. 10-odd late-stage holy venerates were killed. Their souls were forever destroyed. Their bodies fell into the rubble. Half of the holy venerates died. The surviving holy venerates were also severely injured. Their souls merged with their bodies, causing them to vomit blood non-stop. Chapter 42:59. Run. These people were running away frantically. Linghu Chueshue and the others were chasing after them. Those who were watching the battle did not know what was going on. When they saw this scene, they were all dumbfounded. What was going on? Only a few seconds had passed? The experts on their side had been severely injured and had even fled. What exactly had happened? Damn it! Seeing their side collapsing again, the Saint Kings and Elders' faces turned ugly. Their hearts were bleeding. They had even discovered that there were really late Saint Venerables who had fallen. Moreover, there was more than one. There were more than 10 of them. The remaining people were dying even more. Not good. If this continues, there will be more deaths. Many elders gritted their teeth. The Saint Kings knew this too, especially the Silver Corpse Saint King. His face was pale. He realized that the Acheron Palace had lost 4 late-stage Saint Venerables. Damn it! They stood up, and their auras surged in all directions. Peerless Saint King sneered. You can't hold it in anymore? I've said it before. Don't jump to conclusions too early. The 3 dragon tribes also smiled. It seemed that following the Azure Dragon Horn was the right choice. This time, if they could really defeat those saint cities, they would gain great benefits. We can't let this continue. I suspect that the brat used some extreme methods. Soaring Sky Saint King stood up and said coldly. Desolate Sky Saint King nodded. That's right. The scene just now was too strange. He clearly did not have any strength, but he was able to cause such an outcome. Lei Shanxing, Myriad Sword Pavilion, and Purple Sun Palace's Saint Venerables also stood up. They said that they could not let this continue. They had to either stop or change the rules. Stop? Why didn't you think of stopping when you attacked us? Peerless City's elders snorted. Indeed, when the 6 saint cities attacked them, no one stood up and said such words. Now that the situation had changed, these people could not take it anymore. What a joke. Peerless Saint King also snorted. You want to stop? Do you think this is a game? Obviously, both sides had different opinions and started to quarrel. Some of the Saint Kings even emitted terrifying auras. The entire world started to collapse. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. The extraterrestrials also gasped. Would this cause a Saint King level battle? Thousand Demon City, don't go too far. The experts of the 3 dragon clans stood up. The people of the Blue Sea Pavilion also frowned. Some people were still unable to cover the sky with a single hand. The people of Kunlun also snorted coldly. You want to fight? We will accompany you to the end. Stop arguing. At this moment, a cold and gloomy voice sounded, shaking the surroundings. Everyone turned around and saw that the one who spoke was the Silver Corpse Saint King. Flying Sky Saint King said, Whatever you say is useless. Yellow Spring Hall is the host this time. Brother Silver Corpse, what do you think? Yes, they had to stop or change the rules. The Silver Corpse Saint King's face was gloomy. He said, What happened before is too strange. I also feel that it is very unfair if this continues. Thus, I decided to use my only chance to change the rules of the second stage. The moment these words came out, God King Soaring Sky and the others revealed a trace of malevolence. Peerless Saint King and his allies, who were smiling, furrowed their brows. However, they didn't say anything. After all, as the host, Acheron Hall did have a chance to change the rules. Of course, this rule had to be approved by the majority. Otherwise, if they changed the rules to only benefit Acheron Hall, the other saint cities wouldn't agree. How do you want to change it? The Azure Dragon King asked coldly. It's very simple. Pick your opponent. Each power would take turns as the arena master to pick their opponent. Those who were picked could reject it. However, that was equivalent to failing twice. Those who rejected 3 times would be disqualified. Those who couldn't participate in the next stage. Those who were killed or kicked out of the arena would be disqualified. Of course, late-stage Saint Venerables couldn't take the initiative to pick someone 2 levels lower than them, unless they sealed their own cultivation. What do you all think? The moment these words came out, the surrounding people started discussing. Flying Sky Saint King and the others were naturally willing. As long as they could stop the battles, they would raise both hands in agreement. However, Peerless City's side was silent. To be honest, this rule didn't sound like a problem, but it was very dangerous when it was implemented. After all, it was very easy for the strong to fight the weak. Needless to say, Yellow Spring Hall would still target them. However, if they used it well, they could continue to hunt those people. Therefore, Peerless King nodded and said, I have no objections. However, I have to remind you that you only have one chance to change the rules. After this, you won't have another chance. I'd like to see if you can still smile after changing the rules. You don't have to worry about that. Hearing that, Silver Corpse Saint King snorted coldly. Since even Peerless Saint King had approved of it, the other Saint Kings nodded in agreement as well. After all, if they didn't agree, Silver Corpse Saint King would probably propose an even more disadvantageous rule. Since that's the case, let's begin. After saying that, the Saint Kings formed hand seals and flew into the distance. Of course, it wasn't their real bodies. They all sent out a clone and merged into the space. In the next moment, the space broke open and countless terrifying figures appeared. As a result, the people who were still fighting in the space were all stunned. Stop! Silver Corpse Saint King roared, and the 9 heavens shook. Everyone stopped, and some of them narrowed their eyes. What's going on? Why are the Saint Kings here? Are they going to make a move too? From now on, stop fighting. The rules have changed. Hearing that voice, everyone was shocked again. Changing the rules? Lin Xian, Ling Hu Chueshue, and the others frowned. Damn it, these guys wanted to change the rules when they saw that they were at a disadvantage. How despicable. Moreover, what shocked them was that they actually succeeded. They didn't say anything and quickly retreated. The Saint Kings of the sacred city in the sky also stood on one side. Then, they called everyone back. Master, what's going on? Ling Hu Chueshue and the others asked when they returned. Peerless King sneered. Of course, they wanted to change the situation because they had one chance. However, he wouldn't let them turn the tables. The rules were quickly announced, and the others' eyes lit up. Silver Corpse Saint King said, "All right, let's begin." After saying that, the people from Acheron Hall were the first to sneer. As the host, they were the first to be the ringleaders. This time, a middle-stage Saint Venerable walked out. His face was extremely cold. In an instant, he looked at Lin Xian and said coldly, "Get out here." As expected, he was targeting Lin Xian. The people from Peerless City also darkened. Lin Xian's strength had not recovered and was still very weak. Now that he was targeted by a middle-stage Saint Venerable, it would be very dangerous. If he refused, it would be equivalent to failing twice. Moreover, the people from Acheron Hall would definitely not do it themselves. Next, Great Desolate Mansion, Myriad Sword Pavilion, and Demon City would definitely call out Lin Xian. This way, if Lin Xian refused 3 times, he would be eliminated. Chapter 4260. Kid, what's wrong? You don't dare? If you don't dare, kneel down and admit defeat. If you dare to target me, I'll let you know what regret is. The middle stage Saint Venerable did not hide the killing intent in his eyes at all. He was targeting Lin Xian. The surrounding people gasped when they heard this. They did not know what Lin Xian would choose. Would he admit defeat directly? That way, he could buy some time to recover. Damn it, I'll fight you. Fu Hongye snorted and was about to attack. However, the person opposite her sneered. You don't have the right to choose. I'm the champion now. I can choose. Lin Xian's brother, Shen Jingqiu, also looked nervous. She said, "Why don't we reject this battle first and win after recovering our strength?" Indeed, the others had the same idea. Lin Xian took out a pill from his storage ring. He swallowed it and said, "No need. I still have the strength to stand. Help me up." What? The people of Peerless City were stunned. Junior brother Lin, don't be impulsive. Fu Hongye frowned. Yurua said, "Your strength is too weak now. You don't even have 1/10 of your strength. You can't resist at all." Shangguan Shaoxian also said, "They're obviously targeting you. Don't fall for their provocation." Lin Xian said, "It's okay. I really still have the strength to stand." As he spoke, he coughed twice and almost lost his balance. The surrounding people could only roll their eyes. You can fall with a gust of wind. You still have the strength to stand? What a joke. Kid, are you okay? Peerless Sacred King also transmitted his voice. Lin Xian nodded and gave him a reassuring look. Peerless Sacred King then said, "All right, since he insists, let him try." Junior brother, Ling Hu Chueshue, and the others wanted to say something, but Peerless Sacred King stopped them. Since even Peerless Sacred King said so, perhaps Lin Xian really had a way. "Well, I don't have enough strength to fly now. Send me up," Lin Xian said. Shen Jingqiu became his assistant. Shangguan Shaoxian also walked over and said, "I want to help too." The two of them supported Lin Xian and flew him into the distance, landing on the arena below. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they went crazy. Oh my god. What was the meaning of this? Was Lin Wudy going to step up? What kind of joke was this? He couldn't even fly and had to be supported by others. He still wants to fight? At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded. Murong Qingcheng was also nervous. Even Meng Qing and Guan Songhai had no idea what Lin Xian was up to. Those from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion and the great desolate mansion also had strange expressions on their faces. This brat was too arrogant. Did he think that he was invincible after defeating Wang Jiani and killing Huang Shisan? Humph, today is the day he dies. These people gritted their teeth. The arena master of Acheron Hall was stunned. Then, a smile appeared on his face. That was great. From the looks of it, the other party did not seem to be faking it at all. Didn't have much strength. He could kill such a person with just a raise of his hand. After placing Lin Xian on the arena, Xin Jingqiu and Shangguan Shaoxian left. The arena master said, "Tell me, brat, how do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish." Lin Xian glanced at the arena master and sat on the ground. He said while eating pills to recover his strength, "Although I don't even have 1% of my strength now, it's more than enough to kill a piece of trash like you." When these words came out, the crowd was shocked. Arrogant. He was really too arrogant. At this moment, everyone thought that Lin Xian was putting up a strong front. The face of the Acheron Hall's person darkened. "Are you provoking me? Very well. I'll make sure you die without a burial ground." Then, his body shone brightly and a terrifying law burst out. In an instant, he turned into a flash of lightning and appeared in front of Lin Xian. "Go to hell." He slapped down, wanting to turn Lin Xian into a bloody mist. The surrounding people were all stunned. This was a middle-stage holy venerate. How strong was he? Even if Lin Xian was at his peak, he might not be able to block such a move. Buzz. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian's body began to shake. However, he suddenly raised his head, and a golden light flashed in his eyes. Strange talisman script spun quickly in his eyes. He activated his heavenly secret divine eyes. An extremely terrifying eye flame charged forward. On the other side, the Acheron Hall's middle stage holy venerate shrieked miserably. That holy venerate Hall's palm did not fall. Instead, he hugged his head and rolled around in the air. He looked like he had gone crazy. The surrounding people were stunned. What's going on? Is it a soul attack? That's impossible. This brat soul can even injure a middle-stage holy venerate? Everyone was stunned. The Acheron Hall's people did not dare to believe it. The other party could not even fly, yet he could injure a middle-stage holy venerate. This was simply unbelievable. Lin Xian also paled. He withdrew his gaze. Honestly, although Xiao Qin's soul energy was strong, it was not possible for him to injure a middle-stage holy venerate. However, it was not that Xiao Qin did not have any tricks up his sleeve. He used the dream leaf. This was a spiritual world that a holy ruler created. It contained strong soul energy. At this moment, Lin Xian directly extracted the soul energy in the dream leaf. He used it to strengthen his heavenly secret divine eyes. This way, it was equivalent to him obtaining a strong soul energy. Hence, he could injure the other party. However, the soul energy in the dream leaf was limited. Once Xiao Qin used it up, then he would not be able to injure a middle-stage holy venerate. Hence, Xiao Qin had to do his best to recover his strength quickly. Lin Xian had used his heavenly secret divine eye flame. The other party could not endure it at all. At this moment, the other party did not stand up. Clearly, his soul was severely injured. As for Lin Xian, he staggered to his feet and even vomited a mouthful of blood. However, Xiao Qin still managed to stand up in the end. He said, "I already said that I still have the strength to stand. I won this battle." Hearing this, countless people were shocked. Some people from the holy city fell silent. Their faces were extremely ugly. Xiao Qin had indeed won. Xiao Qin, a powerless person, actually won the battle. It was hard to believe. The people from the Acheron Hall vomited a mouthful of blood. The previous battle had caused them to suffer heavy losses. Half of them had perished, while the remaining half were able to survive. They could be said to be the elites of the elites. However, they did not expect to be severely injured as soon as they entered the arena. This was a complete loss of face. Help me back. Lin Xian stood up and won the battle. Then, he waved his hand in the distance. Xin Jingqiu and Shangguan Shaoxian flew over and helped him back. This scene was extremely strange. You are already so weak, but you are still so strong. How are they going to let others live? Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, Lin Xian returned to the peerless holy ruler's side. The peerless holy ruler nodded in satisfaction. Then, he said, "Well done. It seems that the people from the Acheron Hall are too weak. When you face them in the future, just use 1% of your strength. They probably won't be able to withstand it." Chapter 4261. The Silver Corpse Holy King's face turned ashen. What a slap to his face. They had suffered heavy losses before this. More than half of their experts had fallen. Now that they had changed the rules, they thought they could regain their reputation. Who would have thought that they would lose so miserably in their first battle? The other holy city's experts' faces turned ugly. This guy had no strength, but his soul was still so powerful. Damn it. The second battle was between the Limitless Sect and the Seven-Star Towers experts. The two of them fought, and the Seven-Star Towers experts won. Next, it was the Great Desolate Mansion's turn. The eyes of the Great Desolate Mansion's experts were filled with killing intent. They had also lost a late-stage Saint Venerable on their side. Moreover, Huang Shisan had been killed by the other party. Therefore, they also wanted to kill Lin Xian. However, they were not confident and began to discuss. Should we make a move on this kid? Someone said that it would not be easy. This kid's soul was very powerful. Of course, there were also people who said that it was not certain. No matter how strong he was, he could not fight against a mid-stage Saint Venerable. I guess that was the last of his strength. Let's try again. Another mid-stage Saint Venerable walked out. He also challenged Lin Xian. The crowd gasped again. Right now, Lin Xian was furiously absorbing energy to recover. When he heard another challenge, he opened his eyes. He said, "Help me up. I can still fight." If this was the case again, this brat was really trying to mystify things. Would he be able to withstand it this time? With Xin Jingqiu and Shangguan Shaoxian's help, Lin Xian came to the arena again. The Lightning Lord of the Great Desolate Mansion sneered. "Kid, I don't believe you have any strength left." With a roar, he charged forward. However, he soon let out a miserable shriek. His soul had also suffered from the impact of the attack. This time, his soul was directly destroyed. Is he dead? The surrounding people went crazy. Not only did this guy's strength not weaken, he became stronger. He killed a mid-stage Saint Venerable. How did he do it? The hearts of the Great Desolate Mansion's experts were bleeding. The other holy cities were also on high alert. Su Chen sneered. However, his pupils shrunk. It was obvious that the power he had just displayed was beyond what he could withstand. This time, he was injured again. But this should be enough to intimidate these people. As expected, no one dared to make a move against him in the following period of time. However, they had changed their target. They decided to attack the people around Lin Xian. For example, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion was preparing to attack Shan Jingqiu. Another middle stage, Holy Venerate Sword Sage walked out. His powerful aura pierced through all directions. At this moment, he was staring at Shan Jingqiu. "Come out, you will definitely die today." A cold voice rang out. Everyone was in an uproar. The situation at Wushuangcheng City turned ugly. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with a cold light. Damn it, these people couldn't beat him. So they decided to attack the people around him? Forget it, there's no need to stand in this round. Yu Ruo and Shangguan Shaoxian had said that not everyone in the middle stage of Holy Venerate Realm could turn the tables and fight. People like Lin Xian were simply heaven-defying. It would probably be very difficult for the others. However, Shun Jingqiu took a deep breath. "I won't admit defeat so easily. Even if I can't beat him, I'll still go." As she spoke, she walked forward. Lin Xian asked, "Are you okay?" "Don't worry, big brother Lin Xian. I can do it." As she spoke, her figure flashed and she flew down like a fairy. When the surrounding people saw this scene, They were stunned. No way. Is she really going to accept the challenge? This is too unbelievable. Could it be that she wants to fight against a middle-stage Holy Venerate as an early-stage Holy Venerate? She really doesn't know her limits. The expert from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. Great. I'll use her blood to make Lin Xian go crazy. Seeing Shan Jingqiu land, a sharp sword light slashed over. The berserk energy was unparalleled. Shan Jingqiu did not hide. Her figure flashed and she dodged. In the next moment, a Dharma idol appeared behind her, giving off a mysterious light. At the same time, she said coldly, the rules of the competition state that the battle will only last for an incense stick's time. If I can hold on, it should be enough, right? The crowd was in an uproar. So, this was what the other party was planning. Indeed, there was a time limit this time. They only had the time for an incense stick to burn. However, the person from the 10,000 Swords sect sneered. Do you really think that you can last an incense stick's worth of time against me? Are you kidding me? If I can't kill you within 3 moves, I'll kill myself. Is that so? Alright, you've already used 1 move. You still have 2 moves left. Shan Jingqiu snorted coldly. I want to see how you end your own life. Dragon Elephant Sword Technique. What he used was an extremely terrifying sword technique. His movements were grand and powerful. He slashed out with his sword, creating the illusion of a dragon and elephant. This was an attack from a middle-stage Holy Venerate. An early-stage Holy Venerate would not be able to block it. However, he still underestimated Shan Jingqiu. Shan Jingqiu's heaven and earth dharma form bloomed, forming 2 illusions that formed a triangle in the sky. After that, he could switch positions at will in these 3 worlds. It was equivalent to 2 spatial teleportation arrays. She used form displacement to dodge the 2 streaks of sword light. She then smiled and said, 3 moves have passed. You can't hurt me at all. Now, you can kill yourself. What? She actually dodged it? The 10,000 Swords Pavilion's people did not believe it. The others were also in an uproar. What was that? Heaven and earth dharma form? Damn it. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion's person's expression became extremely ugly. He was just casually saying it earlier. Because with his strength, it was simply too easy for him to kill her in an instant. After all, not everyone was as heaven-defying as Lin Xian. However, the outcome of the matter was beyond his expectations. The woman in front of him also had a strange technique. Hearing the other party's mockery, the sword saint snorted coldly. Damn it, you've completely angered me. Speaking of which, the dragon elephant sword technique covered heaven and earth, enveloping the 3 illusions. I don't believe that you can dodge it this time. The surrounding people also exclaimed. It's over. This Shan Jingqiu is in danger. That's right. Previously, when he switched positions, he relied on the element of surprise to dodge the attack. Now that he had been seen through, there was no way for him to escape. Unless he could take the attack head-on, how could he possibly take it? The surrounding people shook their heads. In fact, even Lin Xian and the others grew nervous. Boom, boom, boom. The dragon elephant sword technique exploded and drowned everything. Countless streaks of sword shadows appeared between heaven and earth. It was shocking. When everything disappeared, the Dharma forms in the sky also disappeared. There was no trace of Shan Jingqiu. Could it be that she has been destroyed? It seemed like not everyone could block it. Ha ha ha. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion's arena master laughed coldly. The great desolate mansion and the other sacred cities also laughed coldly. They had forgotten about Lin Xian. Kid, let's see what you can do now. Lin Xian's expression changed. He did not believe that Xiao would die just like that. After all, he had absolute confidence in Shan Jingqiu. In the next moment, he activated his heavenly secret god eyes and looked forward. Chapter 4262. Everyone thought that Shan Jingqiu's soul had been destroyed, but Lin Xian laughed. So that's how it is. This little girl is quite smart. In the arena, the man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. Lin Xian, now you know the consequences of going against us. Don't worry, this is just the beginning. From now on, We won't let go of anyone who is related to you. I want you to see them die one by one." He laughed proudly, but at that moment, a voice rang out. "Oh, is that so? Who told you that my soul has been destroyed?" "What? Impossible." His laughter seemed to have been crushed by someone's hand. He roared crazily. "Who is it? Why are you sneaking around? Come out." He looked around, and his sword energy was even more destructive. The surrounding people were stunned. "Who is it?" Someone said in a trembling voice. It was Shun Jingqiu's voice. "This is impossible. That woman's soul has been destroyed. How can she still be alive? This must be Lin Wudi's illusion." However, the next moment, the crowd saw a figure appear in the sky. It was Shun Jingqiu. She was unharmed. How is this possible? She is fine. How did she dodge the dragon elephant sword technique? The sword saint from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion was stunned. "Impossible. How did you do it?" Shin Jingqiu snorted coldly. "You want to kill me with your sword technique? Impossible. Half an incense's time is past. There is still half an incense's time left. I don't think you can hurt me. It seems that it's a draw." She wanted a draw. After all, her opponent was a mid-stage Saint Venerable, and she was only at the early stage. A draw was not considered a failure. Damn it. The dragon elephant annihilates the sky. The sword saint roared crazily. He exploded again. This time, his strength was even more terrifying than before. However, when everything disappeared, he thought that Shan Jingqiu had been destroyed. In the end, Shin Jingqiu appeared again. This happened 3 times. After an incense's time, Shin Jingqiu was unharmed. The battle ended in a draw. The people from Wushuang City cheered. On the other side, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's people looked terrible. A draw? Damn it. This was a slap to their face. Yuruo, Shangguan Shaoxian, looked at Shun Jingqiu and smiled. Lin Xian also said, "Well done." A smile appeared on Shan Jingqiu's face, and then she went back to her usual self. Damn it. I don't believe that all the people around him are so powerful. Next, those people were prepared to attack Morong Qingqing. This time, it was the people from the Demon City. However, they failed as well. Morong Qingqing was also very strong. He also managed to dodge the attack of a middle-stage Holy Venerate. Following it, Qin Xiener, Guan Songhai, and even Meng Qing and the others from the 3 dragon tribes were challenged too. They dodged. However, not everyone dodged. For example, there were people from the Stegosaurus race who died. There were also people from the Winged Dragon clan who died, which angered the Dragon clan. Damn it, it was time for their counterattack. Kunlun Pavilion's Hahuan Palace also made a move. Since the 2 sides had already become enemies, there was no need to be polite. They also sent middle-stage Holy Venerables to deal with the early-stage Holy Venerables. At first, there were still people who accepted the challenge, but after 2 of them were killed, the remaining few directly admitted defeat. They would rather lose 2 matches than come out. Soon, it was Wu Shuangcheng's turn. Everyone was nervous and focused on the fight. They did not know who Wu Shuangcheng was going to send. This was especially so for the people from the Acheron Hall. They looked as if they were facing a great enemy. If Linghu Chueshue or Fu Hongye made a move, they would directly admit defeat. They would not give the other party a chance to counterattack. However, they soon discovered that it was not those 2 people. Instead, it was Yuruo. Yuruo challenged an early-stage Holy Venerate from the Demon City. It was nothing. They could just fight. After all, they were all elite experts. They did not believe that they would lose to others. Therefore, the person from the Demon City directly went up. In 10 moves, he was killed by Yuruo. Yuruo's black and white eyes were extremely terrifying. She domineeringly killed a genius of the same level as her and then returned. Damn it. These people gritted their teeth. Next, the people from the 3 dragon tribes also challenged the people from the Thunder God City and the Great Desolate Mansion. The people from the Thunder God City directly admitted defeat, while the people from the Great Desolate Mansion were killed. Both sides suffered losses. However, the people from the Acheron Hall were about to vomit blood. They had lost more than half of their geniuses earlier. Now, they could not afford to lose. Of course, there were also some people who displayed great strength. Lin Xian was one of them. Aside from him, the people from Wushuangcheng were all very strong. There were also Murong Qingcheng, Guan Sanghai, and the others. They were also extremely dazzling. However, there were two people who were even more terrifying. The first was Chao Tianchi. He defeated a mid-stage holy venerate from the giant spirit pavilion. His strength was shocking. The other was Gu Feng. Gu Feng did not participate in the fight between the Acheron Hall and Wushuangcheng. He attacked the people from the returning principal palace. In the end, he defeated a mid-stage holy venerate. This scene shocked everyone. It seemed that these two people were not weaker than Lin Xian. That was for sure. Between them and Professor Lin Xian, who was stronger? Discussions broke out one after another, but these people had forgotten one thing. Whether it was Chao Tiancheng or Gu Feng, they were both early-stage holy venerates. Lin Xian was only a peak small sage. However, he was so strong that people forgot about his cultivation realm. Soon, the first round came to an end. Since some people won, others naturally fell. The people from the Acheron Hall were not willing to accept this. When the second round started, they changed their strategy. They did not attack Lin Xian and the others. Instead, they decided to eliminate the peak combatants of Wushuangcheng. This time, a late-stage holy venerate came out. The person he challenged was Fu Hongye. Everyone was shocked by this scene. It seemed like these people were going to kill him. Senior brother. The people from Wushuangcheng looked at Fu Hongye. This was truly a difficult choice. Fu Hongye was strong, but he did not have much chance of winning against a late-stage holy venerate. Fu Hongye took a deep breath. I'll try. I'm not willing to admit defeat right away. Go. Do what you can. The Wushuangcheng also said. This battle can be considered a challenge from Fu Hongye. Let's see where his limits are. I accept the challenge. Fu Hongye left. When he came out, everyone was in an uproar. It can't be. Is he really going to accept the challenge? The people from the Acheron Hall revealed sinister smiles. This is great. This time, they will not fail again. The old man's eyes shone with a cold light. Fu Hongye came to the arena and took the initiative to attack. He turned into a bolt of lightning and instantly appeared beside the old man. The red leaf in his hand kept falling. An illusion of a maple tree appeared behind him. In an instant, he executed his strongest magic ability. Chapter 42-63. Crack, crack, crack. An extremely terrifying light appeared on the old man's body, directly shattering all the maple leaves. Then, he sneered and grabbed the white bones of the yellow spring with one hand. With a crack, half of Fu Hongye's body was grabbed, but there was no blood. Instead, it turned into countless maple leaves. His real body appeared in another place, and his expression became extremely ugly. Just now, he was only using his clone to test the waters, but the difference in strength was too great. The other party could easily destroy his divine ability. It's useless. You can't escape. Yellow fist destruction. The old man formed a seal with both hands and pressed toward the void. Immediately, the surrounding yellow spring water quickly spread, completely enveloping the entire world. Fu Hongye couldn't escape at all. Die. The old man laughed sinisterly, and a terrifying law erupted. Not good. When the people of Wushuang City saw this scene, their expressions became extremely ugly. They were all worried for Fu Hongye. Fu Hongye's pupils constricted. He snorted coldly and suddenly burst out with an unparalleled secret technique. The fivefold increase in strength had caused a crack to appear on it. He rushed out. He could actually dodge it? The old man was surprised. You struggled and scattered. Fu Hongye had been suppressed, but whenever he was in danger, he would activate the unparalleled secret technique. He unleashed several times the strength to dodge. The old man didn't succeed. No way. He could actually block it. Unbelievable. This Fu Hongye was not an ordinary person. Seeing that he couldn't catch the other party in half an incense stick's time, the old man's face turned gloomy. He roared angrily, and the yellow spring diagram rotated, forming three clones that fought in all directions, forming a yellow spring formation. It directly locked Fu Hongye. This time, No matter what, he wouldn't let the other party escape. Fu Hongye was in an extremely dangerous situation. He merged with the maple tree behind him and charged forward. It was useless. The old man slapped out and directly made Fu Hongye vomit blood. However, Fu Hongye didn't retreat. He quickly charged forward as if his entire body had turned into a maple tree. When his palm fell, endless maple leaves swayed and directly hit the old man's body. The old man's body swayed, and he was also injured. How was that possible? The old man was stunned, and so were the others. The difference between the two of them was a realm. Could Fu Hongye really break through the defense? What was this maple tree? It was too terrifying. Just like that, the two of them fought. Fu Hongye vomited blood, but the more he fought, the braver he became, and attacked crazily. In the end, the old man's hair was disheveled. Although he wasn't injured, he was completely embarrassed. In the end, the time it took for an incense stick to burn disappeared, and he still couldn't completely defeat Fu Hongye. Damn it! The old man, even after the time limit, he was still attacking the old man. Saint Emperor Wushuang harumphed coldly. A black vortex appeared and took Fu Hongye away. Then, he slapped the old man. The old man's body was immediately split in two, and he roared crazily. The killings, his eyes filled his eyes. What a disgrace. Get your ass over here. When the silver corpse Saint King saw this, he snorted coldly and unleashed the Yellow Springs diagram to turn the old man back. Then, 2 slaps were sent over. The old man knew that Saint Emperor was saving him. Otherwise, he would suffer a fate worse than death if he fell into Saint Emperor Wushuang's hands. Sure enough, Saint Emperor Wushuang's face was cold as he stared at Holy King Silver Corpse. He didn't attack again. Instead, he brought Fu Hongye back. At that moment, Fu Hongye's body was covered in injuries. It was obvious that he had been severely injured in the fight earlier. Hurry up and recover, Wushuang said. The others also had worried expressions. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Ling Hu Chueshua was even more furious. Next, the other Saint cities challenged Lin Xian again. They didn't believe that Lin Xian was so strong. Moreover, even if they were to exhaust Lin Xian, they would exhaust him to death. However, Lin Xian was much stronger than they had imagined. The eye technique that Lin Xian could execute now was enough to kill 5 middle-stage holy venerables. Moreover, his strength was still recovering. Lin Xian killed another 3 mid-stage saint venerables. After that, no one dared to challenge him. When it was time for Wushuang City's side to challenge Ling Hu Chueshua stepped forward. He challenged the Yellow Spring Hall's late-stage Saint Venerate. It was the old man who had attacked Fu Hongye. That old man had a cold expression. He attacked frantically, wanting to kill Ling Hu Chueshua. However, Ling Hu Chueshua's strength shocked him. Although he was nearly 3,000 years older than Ling Hu Chueshua, he was no match for him. Within 30 moves, he was defeated by Ling Hu Chueshua. That old man's soul wanted to escape. However, Ling Hu Chueshua didn't give him the chance. A terrifying sword aura erupted and sealed everything, robbing the old man's soul. Damn it! My Yellow Spring Hall won't let you off. That was the old man's final roar. However, Ling Hu Chueshua's sword descended. I won't let your Yellow Spring Hall off either. Damn it! The Yellow Spring Hall's people were driven mad with anger. They roared toward the sky. Another top-notch expert was killed. They were unable to tolerate it. The others also felt their scalps go numb. It would appear that this was a scene that wouldn't end until one of them was dead. Holy King Silver Corpse's expression was ice-cold. He stared at Ling Hu Chueshua with a terrifying gaze. The yellow spring was surging in his eyes. Wushuang Sage King snorted. What's wrong? Do you want to fight? I'll accompany you anytime. At the same time, a black vortex appeared in the sky, swallowing everything. The killing intent of the 2 kings filled the air again. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. Humph. Holy King Silver Corpse snorted coldly and didn't make a move. In the following battles, his face turned even uglier. That was because the people from Wushuang City were specifically targeting them. Regardless of whether it was Lu Yuan, Shangguan Shaoxian, or Long Aojuan, they were all very powerful. Therefore, after a few rounds of fighting, they suffered heavy losses. The others like Great Desolate Mansion and Thousand Demon City weren't doing well either. They were targeted by the three dragon tribes, Kunlun Pavilion and Union Palace. A new round had begun. This time, it was the people from Thousand Demon City who were ready to attack. They had used their ultimate skill, the Void Beast. After all these years of nurturing, the Void Beast had reached the early Holy Venerate realm. Its strength could be said to be extremely powerful. Moreover, the other party was also proficient in spatial divine abilities. Originally, they wanted to continue holding back, but they were eager to get rid of Lin Xian. This time, they would let the Void Beast attack. With a flash, a black-robed figure appeared on the stage. His entire body was covered by the black robe, and no one could see him clearly. Only a cold voice could be heard. "Get over here and die." Everyone was shocked. Was he here to challenge Lin Xian again? Lin Xian stood up. This time, he didn't need anyone to help him, and he could fly. After arriving, he said, "Tell me, how do you want to die?" That person sneered and charged over, slapping out a palm. Black light bloomed and a black claw as big as a mountain, carrying a destructive aura, charged towards Lin Xian. Chapter 4264. At this moment, Lin Xian had recovered about 70 to 80% of his strength. Hence, his eyes shone brightly. He did not use any soul attack. Instead, he stomped his foot and punched out. Similarly, his fist was like a sun, blooming with light. Both of them unleashed an unparalleled aura. Then, they both retreated. Lin Xian summoned the 10 ultimate sword formation. He stabbed out with his sword towards the black-robed figure. The black-robed figure was instantly slashed apart. However, to everyone's surprise, no blood flowed out. There was not even a figure. Only the black-robed figure fell to the ground. What's going on? Where is he? Everyone was stunned. Even Lin Xian furrowed his brows. In the next moment, his pupil shrank. His figure swayed. The place where he was originally standing was instantly torn apart. The aftermath of the energy hit him and sent him flying. Damn it! Someone sneaked an attack. When he turned around, he found that there was no one behind him. Those people were also shocked. Could it be a spatial ability? Exclamations could be heard. On a mountain peak, Gu Feng stood there. When he saw this scene, his eyes shone with a cold light. Void Beast? He did not expect the Thousand Demon City to use such a trump card. Lin Xian frowned as well. A heavenly Void Beast? To be honest, it was not the first time he encountered it. He had fought with it twice. However, both of them were below the small saint realm. He did not expect the other party to grow so quickly. It had actually become a holy venerate. The spatial law was very powerful. It was called a king-level law. It was not a joke. This Void Beast was probably more dangerous than an early-stage holy venerate. As expected, the Void Beast appeared and disappeared mysteriously in the next few times. Every time, it would appear in an extremely strange place and attack Lin Xian. Fortunately, Lin Xian's physique was strong. Otherwise, he would have been in danger. Another spatial crack shot towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt that there was a terrifying power in the surrounding void that wanted to tear his body in half. He snorted coldly and unleashed his 9-yang divine body to the extreme. At the same time, he activated the 10 senses sword formation. Terrifying sword light swept out in all directions, bringing with it a destructive power that enveloped the entire area. At this moment, Lin Xian's mental state was incomparably solemn. He stood in the center of the array formation like a sword god. A powerful aura burst forth. His palms formed a seal, and the terrifying 10 senses sword formation began. It opened and closed widely, sweeping in all directions. Nothing could get close. The Void Beast was extremely terrifying. Dozens of cracks appeared around him as he charged over. The terrifying sword lights were all swallowed into the space and transported. This way, there would be nothing that could hurt him. Soon, he reached Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian's eyes blossomed with a terrifying golden radiance. They formed a pair of divine eyes that could see through everything. He saw a blurry figure charging at him at high speed. The other party was actually holding swords and sabers formed from spatial dimensional fragments. Along with the extremely strong power of the laws, they continued to slash down. Lin Xian was very passive in the battle. When the people of the demon city saw this scene, the corners of their mouths curled up into a smile. Humph. He was definitely not a match for the Void Beast. Even if he had 10 types of laws. So what? So what? They couldn't compare to the laws of space. Do you really think that I can't see you when you're hiding in the dark? Lin Xian's eyes blossomed with an extremely terrifying light. He used his eye technique to the extreme. At the same time, the 10 senses sword turned into a divine sword. He held it in his hand and slashed forward. With a slash of the sword, everything was shattered. The spatial fissures were also collapsing non-stop. Boom. Under this sword, the sky fell and the earth cracked. The blurry figure was actually sent flying. In just an instant, he disappeared into the void. The world was completely silent, and there were no more attacks. This made everyone puzzled. What was going on? Could it be that the Void Beast was injured? That was impossible. How could the laws of space be injured? In the void Beast hid. He also frowned. To be honest, the other party was very troublesome. With his strength, it was really too easy to kill people of the same level. There had never been more than 3 moves. But this time, he met his opponent. The other party was very difficult to deal with. The other party's sword technique and strong physique made it impossible for him to hurt the other party. On the contrary, the other party's eyes seemed to be able to see through him. Humph! Lin Xian stood on the arena. He sneered. Why? Don't dare to make a move? Do you think I can't find you if you hide? In the Tianji divine eyes, the golden light swept in all directions. At the same time, he mobilized the power of the great white dragon sword and directly slashed at the void. With a bang, the Void Beast's pupil shrank, and he quickly dodged. The void where he was originally standing shattered. At the same time, he felt a chill down his spine. Damn it! He kept dodging and then began to attack Lin Xian. All kinds of spatial dimensional fragments flew over. Lin Xian dodged. He directly locked onto the Void Beast and chased after it. What? Lin Wudi could actually find the Void Beast's trace. How did he do it? His eye technique had already reached such a powerful level? Exclamations came one after another. Gu Feng frowned. This guy was really strong. On Wushuang City's side, Yu Ruo was also shocked. To be honest, her black and white eyes couldn't completely capture it. She could only see a blurry shadow. In other words, it was impossible for her to keep an eye on the Void Beast every time. However, Lin Xian could do it. Spatial exile. Get the hell out of here. The Void Beast roared, forming a large spatial rift and directly swallowing Lin Xian. He wanted to exile Lin Xian into the universe's void. Lin Xian's figure disappeared. Everyone was surprised. Could it be that he was really exiled? In this case, even if he didn't die, he would have failed. Exclamations came one after another. Murong Qingqing and the others were nervous again. The Void Beast raised a disdainful smile. He couldn't withstand a single blow. However, just as he finished speaking, there was a sword light in the space. It directly pierced through his body. With a puff, the void shattered. Countless people exclaimed. The Void Beast was also stunned. However, his body also used the power of space and dodged the sword. It's useless. You can't kill me. Before he finished speaking, he roared crazily. This was impossible. He found that although his body rushed into the void, he was still injured. However, he was still injured. The sword had split him in half. Puff. First, blood splattered. After the 2 halves of his body fell into the water, they rushed into the void. Then, roaring sounds came from all directions. Impossible. Damn it. How did you do it? He was really crazy. All of them were stupefied. Even Gu Feng's pupils shrank. Did the other party break the space technique? Those people from the demon city were shocked. They couldn't believe it. What was going on? Lin Xian sneered. Do you really think that I won't be able to kill you? Today is the day you die. At this point, the great dragon sword's soul erupted again. The 10 absolute swords were crazily attacked, constantly piercing through the void. The void beast roared again and again. Damn it! Those people from the demon city were nervous. Soaring Sky Saint King also roared. Return. He really didn't expect that even the void beast couldn't do anything to the other party. Since that was the case, he would let the void beast return to preserve his combat strength. The void beast received the order and escaped into the void. Lin Xian sneered. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? The 10 absolute swords formation erupted again. It was filled with the power of the great dragon sword soul and directly sealed the world. Chapter 4265. The terrifying 10 ultimate sword formation rumbled. The terrifying sword soul filled the air, forming a peerless killing formation. The void beast sensed great danger and roared into the sky. He unleashed his strongest power, the space divine ability, to the extreme. He instantly disappeared. One had to admit that the void beast was very powerful. At this moment, Lin Xian's heavenly secret divine eyes disappeared. But in the next moment, he took out a beast's skin. It was the void beast's beast skin. With this, he could sense the location of the void beast's body. The 10 senses sword technique erupted and attacked in that direction. The power of this sword was beyond imagination. The sky cracked as the sword pierced through the void beast's body. The void beast came out, his eyes filled with disbelief. His opponent had discovered him, and he could feel his vitality rapidly draining away. The wound could not be healed at all, and there was also the law of death that was destroying his body. Stop! How dare you! A terrifying roar sounded. The elders of the demon city roared crazily. Soaring Sky Saint King also stood up. Stop! We've lost this battle. You, let him go. Clearly, the void beast was very important to them. Lin Xian snorted coldly when he heard that. Release him? Let me ask you. Previously, when you 3 great Saint Kings attacked me, did you ever think of sparing my life? Kid, is this how you speak to a sage king? Do you believe that I can destroy your soul again? Soaring Sky Sage King exuded a terrifying killing intent, causing Lin Xian to tremble. Peerless Sage King snorted. Try it. He also stood up, and the terrifying law of devour swept across the sky. Silver Corpse Sage King and Desolate Heaven Sage King also stood up and looked at Peerless Sage King. What, do you want to fight again? If I can kill your disciple once, I can do it again. A cold voice resounded through the sky. Peerless Sage King was not fighting alone this time. Kunlun Sage King, Bayou Sage King, Songhai Pavilion Sage King, and the 3 dragon tribes were all on his side. The 2 sides faced each other again. Just as a great battle was about to break out, they were all shocked by a voice. Those Saint Kings did not continue to confront each other. Instead, they all looked over. In the next moment, they saw Lin Xian swing his sword and split the void beast in half. The gathering and destruction of the walking souls. The void beast was destroyed, and its life force was extinguished. His body appeared. It was a dark purple demonic beast with strange runes on its body. It looked abnormally ferocious. At this moment, he was lying in the ruins, unmoving. Blood pierced through the 9 heavens. Dead. How dare you kill him? Soaring Sky Saint King was instantly enraged. With a roar, his palm turned into a blade and a green blade light slashed down towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. The law of devour appeared in front of him and devoured the light. Peerless Saint King snorted coldly. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? At this moment, he was full of energy. Both sides were about to fight. The other Saint Kings tried to persuade him. Don't do it. This is the battle of the Holy Halls. We have no right to interfere. If they really fought, there would be an unprecedented crisis. Under the persuasion of these Saint Kings, the Saint Kings and the others gritted their teeth. Indeed, they did not dare to fight. Otherwise, they would not be able to bear the consequences. Soaring Sky Saint King gritted his teeth. Damn it. It was unknown whether the 9 Cheelants were dead or alive. The void beast was killed again. In addition to the geniuses who had died before, Their losses this time were really too heavy. Next, the people from Demon City seemed to have gone crazy. They also issued challenges. In an instant, the Kunlun Pavilion and Azure Sea Pavilion were attacked. Even Peerless City was attacked. Gao Jianfei was injured. Shangguan Shaoxian was also injured. Their situation was extremely dangerous. However, Fu Hongye had killed a mid-stage Saint Venerable expert. Kunlun Pavilion also sent out experts. Azure Sea Pavilion's Guan Songhai personally attacked and killed the enemy. The battle between the two sides became more and more intense. When the battle ended, the eyes of both sides were red. If it were not for the rules, the elders and Saint Kings would have attacked by now. Another round of battles. Lu Xuanxin of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion attacked. She looked at Lin Xian with a hint of hesitation in her eyes. To be honest, she wanted to take revenge, but she did not have the strength, so she chose someone else. This time, she chose to know Chao Tianxing. However, she was defeated even faster. Chao Tianxing's strength was too mysterious. The Black Heaven Sword formation could not do anything to him. Instead, it was defeated by him within 50 moves. This caused an uproar again. In addition to them, Gao Yu and Bai Luo of the New Moon Clan and the Nether Holy Land also attacked. The two of them also displayed powerful strength. Heavenly Fragrance Pavilion's Li Hongxiu was also powerful. She had been challenged by several people and won. However, when she challenged Gu Feng, she lost. Gu Feng's spatial laws were obviously stronger than the Void Beasts. He even mastered an ancient inheritance. Therefore, Li Hongxiu lost. She was injured, but her life was not in danger. Gu Feng looked at Lin Xian, but in the end, he did not challenge Lin Xian. Was it because he had scruples or something else? During this period of battle, Lin Xian had recovered his strength, so he was ready to go all out. He still had some soul power left, so he was ready to attack again. Through the information from Wushuang City, Lin Xian learned that there were some core geniuses in the Acheron Hall. Of course, there were also personal disciples. One of them had a very popular identity. Not only was he a personal disciple, but he was also the grandson of the Silver Corpse Holy King. This person was called Iron Fist. His strength had reached the middle stage of the Holy Venerable Realm. He was Lin Xian, the target of this challenge. Didn't the Silver Corpse Holy King want to kill him? Then he would pay back an eye for an eye and kill this Iron Fist. The Silver Corpse Holy King's expression would definitely be very interesting. Lin Xian walked out, attracting the attention of everyone. No one knew who this guy was going to challenge. Some of the geniuses from the opposing holy cities lowered their heads. To be honest, although they wanted to attack, they did not dare to. They were even more afraid of being called out by the other party. For a moment, everyone was silent. Lin Xian walked over. His eyes flickered. Then he looked at the Acheron Hall. The corners of his mouth curled up. He heard that there was a grandson of Iron Fist in the Acheron Hall. Who was that? When these words came out, everyone was speechless. He was targeting the Acheron Hall again. But thinking about it, it made sense. After all, the Silver Corpse Holy King had launched a sure kill attack. If Lin Xian did not have a trump card, he would have been killed long ago. Now, he naturally wanted to take revenge. However, when they heard the two words Iron Fist, they were indeed stunned. They naturally knew who Iron Fist was. Iron Fist was naturally angry. He roared, "Damn it! Who are you calling a grandson? Of course I'm calling you a grandson. Why are you unhappy?" Lin Xian sneered. "Kid, are you courting death?" Iron Fist's eyes shone with a terrifying light. He was mad. He must kill Lin Xian. Chapter 4266. Kid, you better take back your words. Otherwise, I have the right to kill you. Another figure stood up. It was a middle-aged man. He was very powerful. There was an extremely strong killing intent in his eyes. He was Taisho's father, the son of the Silver Corpse Saint King. His cultivation had reached the late stage of the Saint Venerable Realm. He could be said to be a top expert. Lin Xian sneered. What? Did I say something wrong? Isn't he the grandson of the Silver Corpse Saint King? Do you think he's still my grandson? I don't have such a trash grandson. As soon as he said that, the people of Peerless City laughed. Songhai and the people of Kunlun Pavilion also laughed until they bent over. Many people laughed until tears came out. This guy was definitely doing it on purpose. The middle-aged man gnashed his teeth in anger. Tai Sho roared, "Damn it, I'll kill you with my own hands." As he said that, he wanted to rush forward. However, the Silver Corpse Saint King roared, "Don't be impulsive. This is a provocation." The surrounding elders also persuaded him, "Yes, don't fall for that kid's trick. That's right, he's obviously trying to provoke you." Hearing those words, Lin Xian laughed, "Grandson, did you hear that? Those people don't think highly of you. You'd better obediently squat there and be a grandson." "Damn it, I'll definitely kill him." Tai Sho roared and turned his head. "Father, grandfather, believe me, I can definitely do it." "What?" The middle-aged man hesitated, but the Silver Corpse Saint King asked, "Did you bring that thing?" "Don't worry, grandfather, I've always brought it with me." "All right, then go and bring me his head." After receiving the order, the corners of Iron Hand's mouth curled up in a smile. Great, he could finally take revenge. Those elders originally wanted to persuade him, but when they knew that Tai Sho had a trump card that could save his life, they all heaved a sigh of relief. If there was no danger to his life, then they had nothing to worry about. Besides, Tai Sho was very powerful. He might not even need to use his trump card to kill that kid. "Stupid ant, today is the day you die." Tai Sho stepped in the air and flew forward. The surrounding people were also surprised when they saw this scene. Tai Sho actually wanted to fight. This was really unexpected. One should know that. Lin Xian had killed many experts before. In other words, ordinary holy masters would not dare to fight with him now. As for the late-stage holy venerates, they could not attack. Given this, no one could deal with Lin Xian. But now, Iron Hand had actually made his move. What did he have to rely on? Lin Xian smiled. "Are you out?" "Very good. The provocation worked." He would make the Silver Corpse Holy King regret it. Lin Xian said indifferently, "Take out your strongest technique, or you won't have a chance to attack. How dare you look down on me?" Tai Sho angrily shouted as his aura erupted. Nomological laws filled the sky as a powerful and cold aura swept out in all directions. When the surrounding people felt this aura, their expressions changed. So powerful, this iron arms was indeed worthy of his reputation. It seemed like the other party had absolute strength. At the same time, a yellow springs mirror appeared on his forehead, protecting his soul. "Kid, your soul is indeed powerful, but I've made sufficient preparations. This time, you can't hurt me at all. Without a soul, let's see how you're going to fight me." Boom! Tai Sho threw a palm strike, and a metallic luster appeared on it. A terrifying roar reverberated between heaven and earth. The surrounding people were shocked. This force was too strong. Furthermore, Tai Sho already defended his soul. What was this Lin Xian going to use? Tai Sho was probably finished this time. They didn't expect Iron Arms to be so well prepared. Discussions broke out one after another. Everywhere Tai Sho's palm strike passed, space shattered. Its might was unimaginable. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Did Tai Sho take defense? It looked like Tai Sho was indeed targeting Xiao Qin's characteristics. Thinking of this, Xiao Qin took a deep breath. Light burst out from his body, forming a golden giant. Tai Sho opened his hands and blocked in front of him. Boom! The fist and the golden giant clashed, shaking space intensely. The impact knocked Lin Xian back, shattering space. However, he was not injured. The strength of the 9 Yang divine body surpassed everything. The 2 golden hands were like 2 huge mountains, blocking the other party's attack. Your physique is rather strong. However, why are you only passively defending? Didn't you say that you wanted to kill me? Where is your courage from before? Iron Arms looked at the other party with a cold smile on his face. Previously, the other party's soul was extremely terrifying. That eye technique could instantly kill a middle-stage holy venerate. But now, he had blocked this kind of fatal blow. Based on his opponent's cultivation alone, there was no way he could contend against him. Next, it was time for him to take his revenge. He would let the other party know what despair was. Not good. The expressions of the surrounding people also changed. They had already discovered that Lin Xian had lost his advantage. If that was the case, they would definitely lose this battle. Iron Hand's lips curled up in a sneer. The strength within his body rapidly erupted, and the laws swept out. His palm became even more terrifying. That light seemed to have turned into a holy city. He continuously attacked Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body. Under such a violent palm technique, the flames on Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body also jumped and flickered. Clearly, he was being suppressed, even with the strength of the 9-yang divine body. It was impossible to completely block such an attack. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all had different expressions. There was shock and disbelief. There were also sneers. Some of them shook their heads and sighed. Lin Wudi was too arrogant. This time, he was probably going to die. Indeed, amidst the torrential rain of attacks, Lin Xian was like a small boat in the sea that could be swallowed up at any time. The people of Wushuang City, as well as Morong Qingqing and the others, were somewhat puzzled. To be honest, they knew that Iron Arms was very strong. However, they also had some understanding of Lin Xian's strength, especially Lin Xian's character. He would not fight a battle that he was not confident in. Why was he not attacking now that he was being suppressed? Ignorant. The people of Acheron Hall sneered. The other holy cities also heaved a sigh of relief. This battle could end. However, the few Saint Kings were frowning. They did not believe that the other party would be defeated so easily. After all, the other party had killed many experts before. Moreover, he had escaped from the Holy Kings. What was this kid doing? Wushuang Holy King smiled. Although Lin Xian was constantly retreating, he could feel that the power in Lin Xian's body was constantly gathering. Clearly, he was going to use some trump cards. Lin Xian was indeed preparing some trump cards because he only had 2 more soul kills left. Moreover, the other party had taken defensive measures, so he did not plan to use his soul. In this way, although he could contend with the other party, it would not be so easy to completely kill the other party. Especially after he displayed his strength, the other party would definitely escape. He would not allow the other party to escape. Therefore, he wanted to kill the other party in one blow. Chapter 4267. Iron Hand stood in the void and looked down at the figure that kept retreating. His eyes were filled with disdain. He said coldly, "I thought you were some powerful expert, but I didn't expect you to be nothing without your soul. With your strength, you can't compete with me at all. You can go to hell." Iron Hand's aura became more and more terrifying. A cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Countless laws gathered on his palms. Since he was called Iron Hand, it meant that his palm technique was unparalleled. A terrifying aura emanated from his palm and spread out in all directions. Then, it turned into 2 huge fists and punched forward. Indestructible fist. That pair of fists instantly pierced through the void, and countless black holes appeared where they passed. However, there were no cracks at the edge of the black holes. This could only be caused by extremely terrifying power, and the power was very concentrated. The moment this fist appeared, it was almost extremely powerful and could destroy everything. When the surrounding people saw this scene, their pupils constricted. They knew that they were about to use their lost skills. Some people held their breaths. Lin Xian naturally felt the terror of this fist. He took a deep breath. He didn't dodge, but pushed his divine body to the extreme. At the same time, a force in his body was constantly rotating. It was a Tai Chi diagram. Every time it rotated, it would gather a force. At this moment, it was already ready and waiting for an opportunity. Boom! The flames on Lin Xian's body formed the golden god of war again, and then it blocked the attack. With a boom, the fists landed on the flaming god of war. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The wind blew. Endless divine flames danced. However, this fist was really too terrifying. The divine flames were extinguished, and the god of war phantom kept retreating. Cracks appeared on it. Lin Xian's face turned pale. Not good. Seeing this scene, everyone exclaimed. Unexpectedly, Lin Xian didn't dodge the attack. Instead, he took it head-on. This time, this kid is really dead. The people from Acheron Hall smiled. The middle-aged man also sneered. He knew that this battle was over. Iron arms stood in the air and looked down at the flaming war god that was constantly being destroyed. A cold smile appeared on his face. What Lin Wudi? He couldn't even withstand a single blow from her. He finally got his revenge. After the other party died, all the treasures on the other party's body would be his. Thinking of this, he laughed proudly. However, the silver corpse Saint King's pupils constricted. He shouted angrily and quickly retreated. But it was already too late. Over there, amidst the terrifying storm of light, 10 sword rays instantly flew out, forming a sword formation that enveloped the iron hand. At the same time, a cold voice sounded. After fighting for so long, you still haven't defeated me. What's there to be arrogant about? As soon as he said this, the surrounding people were shocked. Could it be that Lin Xian was still alive? They all looked over, and in the next moment, they saw a figure walking out. Iron Arms was also stunned, but he soon sneered. 10 ultimate sword formation? I've seen it before. It's very powerful, but it's impossible for you to kill me. Today, I'll break your 10 ultimate sword formation. Speaking of this, he waved his hand, and the boundless power was once again reduced. The sword formation shook violently. The two erupted and once again displayed terrifying power. At this moment, a dragon's roar sounded. Lin Xian had activated the unparalleled secret technique again. The power of the 10 ultimate sword formation exploded. Not good. The surrounding people exclaimed, and Iron Arm's pupils constricted. His opponent was indeed very powerful. But so what? He still had a trump card. Thinking of this, he snorted coldly. A small cauldron appeared, with countless white bones and emperor's spring floating on it. It was abnormally strange. As soon as it appeared, it suppressed heaven and earth, blocking the terrifying 10 ultimate sword rays. The two collided, and the small cauldron kept spinning, releasing power to completely suppress the other party. 10 ultimate sword formation. In the end, he enveloped the 10 ultimate sword formation, making it impossible for the sword technique to display its power. Kid, your most powerful technique is gone. Let's see what you can do now. He had a smug smile, and the surrounding people also shook their heads and sighed. They knew that Lin Xian was really dead. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. His opponent had finally used his trump card. It was indeed strong enough to suppress the 10 ultimate sword formation. But so what? His real killing move was the Tai Chi diagram in his body. Thinking of this, he didn't say anything. Instead, he waved his hand, and a Tai Chi diagram instantly flew out. It was so fast that it was unimaginable. Retreat quickly. Silver Corp's Holy King roared again. Iron Arm's pupils constricted. He didn't expect his opponent to have a trump card, and its power was actually not weaker than the 10 ultimate sword formation. How could it be? Damn it, he was careless. He roared, wanting to recall the small cauldron to defend himself. But the 10 ultimate sword formation erupted with power at this moment, directly blocking the small cauldron, causing its speed to slow down. No, Iron Arms was in despair. He could only dodge quickly. He didn't dare to take it head-on. This was because he had sensed a fatal danger. However, he couldn't dodge at all. The Tai Chi diagram flew directly towards him, and in the next moment, it enveloped him. Instantly, the power of Tai Chi erupted, swallowing that space. It was so miserable that it made people's scalps go numb. Everyone was stunned. They really didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to counterattack. They also didn't expect that everything before was planned by Lin Xian. Iron Arms. The middle-aged man roared crazily. Silver Corp's Holy King was even angrier. He directly stretched out a hand. It seemed that he wanted to save his grandson. However, a devouring light appeared in the air and blocked that hand. You've gone too far. You've broken the rules time and time again. Do you really think that we can't punish you? Peerless Holy King's cold voice sounded. At most, we'll open the Holy Hall. Let's see how arrogant you can be." As soon as he said that, Silver Corp's Holy King was stunned. He retracted his hand. "Father, quickly save Iron Arms." The middle-aged man was extremely nervous. However, Silver Corp's Holy King's face was ashen. There were rules in the competition, and he didn't dare to break them. Otherwise, he would end up very miserably. So, he could only watch helplessly. The surrounding people also felt their scalps go numb. The terrifying power of the Tai Chi diagram erupted and soon left. A pile of bones fell out from it. It was Iron Arms from before. He had been deprived of all vitality by the power of death. Was he dead? Iron Arms had actually died. The people of Acheron Hall went crazy. The middle-aged man, Blackbone Holy King, also roared crazily. He couldn't accept it at all. Silver Corp's Holy King gritted his teeth, but there was nothing he could do. However, he still had a glimmer of hope. As long as there were bones, he could revive Iron Arms. He had such a method. However, in the next moment, his eyes turned red because Lin Xian stomped down and crushed all the bones into powder. Then, the Nine Suns' divine fire burned. Everything was burned to ashes and no longer existed. In other words, Iron Arm's soul was destroyed. Chapter 4268. The people from the Acheron Palace went crazy. The Silver Corp's Holy King roared at the sky, and his terrifying aura swept through the 9 heavens. The murderous aura on his body was enough to shock everyone. At this moment, Peerless Holy King's expression was solemn. He was constantly on guard against his opponent's attacks. However, the Silver Corp's Holy King did not attack in the end. His face was extremely cold. The competition continued. After this round, there were only 3 more rounds left, and then it would be over. So, it was the final moment. Sure enough, those people also started to use their ultimate techniques. There were even some elders in the later stage who started to make their moves. Among the younger generation, there was also a top-level battle. It was the battle between Chao Tiansheng and Gu Feng. The battle between the two of them attracted the attention of countless people. Even Lin Xian was greatly surprised. The two of them were extremely powerful. They were not weaker than him. The battle between the two of them was extremely terrifying. Gu Feng's spatial law was even more powerful than the Great Void Beast. It made everyone's hair stand on end. However, he could not do anything to Chao Tiansheng. Chao Tiansheng used some of his techniques. Even the elders' faces changed drastically. Some people even exclaimed, "Why haven't they seen it before?" Could it be that he was using some lost ultimate technique? How was that possible? Who was he? Many people were shocked. To be honest, between the two of them, Chao Tiansheng gave him the most mysterious feeling. After all, he knew that Gu Feng was from the Monarch clan. However, he did not know Chao Tiansheng's background. Especially when Chao Tiansheng broke through, it was even more strange. It was the first time he saw someone breaking through in a coffin. Now, it seemed that this person was indeed very powerful. He was using all his ultimate techniques. In the end, after half an hour, the two of them ended in a draw. Other than that, the other opposing forces were also crazily targeting Wushuang City. Next, Lei Shensheng made his move and challenged Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan did not retreat and directly faced him. Lei Shensheng's strength was also very terrifying. This person was called Lei Chun. The moment he appeared, the lightning on his body shook non-stop. When Lei Shensheng's hand struck out, it caused the heavens to collapse and the earth to crack. Facing such a violent attack, Lu Yuan did not dodge at all. Instead, his palm continued to receive the attack. Iron Horse Ice River. Countless icy aura spread out from his body and formed an ice river. On the ice river, there was a mighty demonic beast with a metallic luster all over its body that was charging over. With a cracking sound, it tore apart the lightning in the sky and pierced through Lei Chun. Lei Shensheng roared crazily. The pain was unbearable. At the same time, he was shocked. Wasn't the other party's strength too strong? Damn it! His body quickly assembled. Thunder God's 9 strikes. He waved his hands and attacked continuously. This was a superimposed cultivation technique, and the more it was used, the more powerful it would be. By the 9th time, his strength had reached a peak. Then, the entire world shook, and the surrounding people cried out in alarm. The people of Thunder God City also revealed a sinister smile. This time, the other party was dead for sure, right? Lu Yuan didn't dodge either. A river of ice spread around him. His palms formed seals again, and countless precepts gathered in the sky, forming a heavenly palace. It carried a prehistoric aura. Flying General of Dragon City. The cold voice sounded again. Above his head, there was a huge dragon coiling around it. The doors to the palace opened, and a man wearing dragon lightning battle armor walked out. A spear pierced through heaven and earth. With a miserable shriek, the thunder god was pierced through, and its body shattered once again. Boom! He fell from the sky. Was he killed? The surrounding people didn't dare to believe it. The people of Thunder God City were also stunned. Another one of their experts had been killed. This Lu Yuan actually had other means other than the ice precepts. What kind of divine ability was that? For a moment, countless people were discussing. Lu Yuan returned, and then the Heavenly Fragrance Pavilion attacked and killed an expert of Thunder God City. The New Moon clan challenged and defeated the other party of Joyous Union Palace. Kunlun's assassin killed a sage of Great Desolate Mansion. The battle was very intense, and the hearts of the people of Sacred City were bleeding. Those who could survive until now were the strongest of the strongest. Their future achievements were limitless, but they didn't expect to die in the last few rounds. The people in the outer realm felt their scalps go numb. This kind of battle was really too intense. The number of experts who died was more than the previous hundreds and thousands of years added together. Especially the Acheron Palace and Myriad Demon City, almost 2/3 of the people of Sacred City had died. Now, only 1/3 of them were left. It could be said that it was pitiful. This scene caused the faces of the people from the Holy City to turn ugly. The few sacred kings were clenching their teeth. Previously, they planned to join forces to deal with Peerless City. It would be best if they could completely destroy Peerless City. Then, they would be trampled under their feet forever. However, they didn't expect the situation to be completely out of their expectations. Wushuang City had actually gathered even more strength and had beaten them up miserably. Father, let me fight in the next round. I must kill him with my own hands. The Sacred King of Dark Valley had an extremely strong killing intent in his eyes. His son was killed on the spot. He couldn't bear it. The surrounding elders gasped when they heard it. The Sacred King of Dark Valley was a late-stage sacred venerable, and Lin Xian was just a minor saint. If the Sacred King of Dark Valley wanted to fight, he would have to suppress his cultivation base. The Sacred King of Silver Corpse didn't agree immediately, but continued to watch the battle. Next, the Myriad Sword Pavilion attacked Peerless City. A top sword saint walked out from the Myriad Sword Pavilion. It was the distant Fire Sword Saint. He challenged Urua. As soon as he appeared, a terrifying flaming sword chi swept across the 9 heavens, forming a terrifying giant sword formation. It directly burned Urua. Not good. This woman is in danger. Countless people exclaimed. The flame of the distant Fire Sword Saint was extremely powerful. When combined with his sword technique, it was extremely powerful. Urua's face was incomparably calm in the flame. She opened and closed her palms, and at the same time, a black and white eye appeared in her eyes. It bloomed with black and white light. 2 doors formed in the sky. One was pitch black, and the other was pale white, with a mysterious aura. From the pitch-black door, a pitch-black figure walked out, holding a death scythe in his hand. On the other hand, a figure in a white robe walked out from the white door, holding a treasure bottle in his hand. Holy light scattered across the 9 heavens. The appearance of 2 completely opposite auras surprised Lin Xian. It was very similar to his Tai Chi. They were 2 different forces. Could it be the legendary twin stars of destiny? An elder exclaimed. The others were also shocked when they heard it. This was also a lost divine ability. It had been thousands of years since anyone had learned it. Now, it appeared in front of this person. The 2 black and white figures were called the good and evil twins, representing heaven and hell. When the two of them went out together, it was really terrifying. Within 10 moves, the distant fire sword saint was killed, and the two halves of his body were sealed in heaven and hell respectively. They were too strong. What kind of people did the unparalleled Sage King take in? How could they be so strong? Lin Xian was shocked as well. The strength of these personal disciples was truly formidable. Moreover, none of them had survived until now. It could be said that they were the most well-preserved in the sacred city. As for Fu Hongye and Linghu Chuexue, they were even stronger. However, it was not that they did not fall. An expert of the older generation had fallen, mercilessly killed by the people of the great, desolate mansion. This expert of the older generation was a late-stage Saint Venerable. In the end, he did not escape, and his soul was destroyed. This scene made the hearts of Lin Xian and the others extremely heavy. The death of a late-stage Saint Venerable was a huge blow. Chapter 4269. The surrounding people were also shocked. It seemed like Wushuang City was not going to be spared. There were even late sacred venerables dying. Wushuang Sage said with a cold face, "There are still 2 more rounds. You must be careful. They might retaliate crazily." Indeed, Fu Hongye was challenged once again. He managed to kill his way out of the encirclement. On the other side, Linghu Chuexue was also facing an extremely strong opponent. He was severely injured. However, his opponent was in a worse state. He killed his opponent directly. His body was covered in blood. He stood in the sky like a killing god. His powerful aura was shocking. There were only a few people left around the Sage Kings. Some of them were even left in the single digits. It was too miserable. One had to know that after arriving, these groups were extremely large. Each group consisted of dozens of geniuses, standing side by side. However, there were less than 10 of them now. The competition was not over yet. There were not many people on the Acheron Palace's side. They were all alone and miserable. Everyone's face was ashen. Wan Yaoqing, Thunder God City, and Great Desolate Mansion were determined to attack Wushuang City. Moreover, they were challenging the same person. That was Linghu Chuexue. Linghu Chuexue had fought 3 consecutive battles. His injuries were even more serious, especially when he was challenged by the Great Desolate Mansion. With the summons of desolation, several terrifying figures of desolation appeared, completely enveloping him. The entire world was blasted apart, turning into nothingness. Could it be that Linghu Chuexue was killed? Everyone started to get nervous. The people on Wushuang City's side clenched their fists. However, Linghu Chuexue walked out of the shattered void. The people on Wushuang City's side heaved a sigh of relief. He was fine. Too powerful. Just what level had the strength of this chief disciple reached? The sacred venerate from the great desolate mansion wanted to retreat. However, he was not in time. Half of his body was extinguished. The other half of his body fell on the stage. Although he managed to escape, his foundation was injured. He would not be able to recover within 300 years. Damn it! The people on the great desolate mansion side roared. The other sacred city's side also had ugly expressions. No, they had to severely injure Wushuang City. So far, Wushuang City only lost a late-stage holy venerate. They were not willing to accept this. He had to kill these top geniuses. Since Linghu Chuexue was so difficult to deal with, then he would kill Fu Hongye. He had to kill Fu Hongye. The remaining forces that had yet to make a move, such as Thunder God City and Purple Void Palace, were frantically challenging Fu Hongye. In the sky, the purple aura poured down like the Milky Way, bringing with it a terrifying pressure. Fu Hongye was pushed back. Fu Hongye vomited blood. However, at this moment, the red leaf behind him began to shake violently. A desolate aura soared into the sky. They charged towards the purple light, shaking the 9 heavens. The battle between the two was extremely intense. The purple light in the hands of the Purple Sun Palace was like lightning that shot out in all directions. A terrifying power appeared, shocking everyone. This was the attack of a late-stage holy venerable. Fu Hongye's desolate aura was shocking. Could it be that this maple tree really had a shocking origin? It was truly unbelievable. They could not imagine. However, the other party was still one cultivation realm lower. When facing the killing move of a late-stage holy venerate, he simply could not block it. Everyone knew that Fu Hongye was very strong. His growth was limitless. However, he was going to fall here. It was truly unfortunate. The old man from the Purple Sun Palace was a holy venerable. He was called the Purple Thunder Holy Venerable. Not only did this Purple Thunder Holy Venerable cultivate Zi Yang's energy, but he also cultivated lightning laws. The two berserk energies overturned the sky and the earth. Die. You will not survive. The Purple Thunder Holy Venerable revealed a sinister smile. If Fu Hongye died, it would be a huge blow to Peerless City. No. Shangguan Shaoxian and the others exclaimed. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. Could it be that Fu Hongye was really going to fall? Damn it. The difference was too great. It was already very shocking that Fu Hongye could fight until now. A startling light burst out of Fu Hongye's eyes. The desolate aura coming from his body became even more terrifying. In the next moment, lightning descended from the sky, piercing through the sky. As for Fu Hongye's strength, it rapidly soared. What happened? Everyone went crazy. The smile of the Purple Sun Palace's holy venerable vanished. Was he going to make a breakthrough? The Purple Thunder Sage was even more shocked. Damn it. This Fu Hongye was originally a middle-stage holy venerate. If he made a breakthrough, he would have the same cultivation as the Purple Thunder Sage. The Purple Thunder Sage might not be able to suppress him. Thinking of this, the Purple Thunder Sage snorted coldly. You have no chance. The Purple Thunder Sage sent out purple lightning that filled the sky, sweeping the 9 heavens to stop this lightning tribulation. However, the Purple Thunder Sage underestimated Fu Hongye. Fu Hongye's lightning was a peak lightning tribulation. It was extremely terrifying. The lightning in the sky poured down, enveloping Fu Hongye. The two underwent the tribulation together. When the lightning in the sky disappeared, Fu Hongye stood there. His injuries had already healed. Furthermore, his strength and aura had already reached late-stage holy venerate. On the other hand, the Purple Thunder Sage was already on the verge of death. He was severely injured. Fu Hongye looked down at the ground from above. Using cultivation realm to suppress me? How despicable. Now, I will let you experience what it feels like to be suppressed by strength. Fu Hongye threw a palm strike. The great desolate dual energies coiled around his hand. It was like the hand of a god, directly enveloping the Purple Thunder Sage. Boom. A horrifying sound rang out. The Purple Thunder Sage was smashed into pieces, turning into a bloody mist. Another late-stage holy venerate died. The Purple Sun Palace's people nearly fainted from anger. The surrounding people were too shocked. Fu Hongye actually made a breakthrough, and his strength increased greatly. Not only did he kill a strong enemy, but he also became a true late-stage holy venerate. This was great. Peerless City's people cheered. Lin Xian also revealed a smile. Fu Hongye. Many people gritted their teeth. He was also a powerful enemy. Now that Fu Hongye's strength had made a breakthrough, no one would be able to suppress him in the future. 2 rounds had passed. There was only 1 round left. After this round, the battle would end. Everyone's hearts were in their throats. If they could survive the last round, they would be able to win. If they could make it through the last round, what awaited them would be supreme glory and glory. If they could not make it through, they would turn into a pile of bones and be buried here forever. On the Yellow Spring Palace's side, Black Bone's expression was cold. He wanted to make a move no matter what. You are a late-stage holy venerate, while that brat is just a small sage. If you want to fight him, suppress your cultivation to early-stage holy venerate. That way, you will not have much of an advantage. Father, don't worry. After all, I have been a late-stage holy venerate for many years. I am not someone that an ordinary holy venerate can contend with. Even if my cultivation is suppressed, killing him will be as easy as flipping my hand. Saint Venerable Blackbone was very confident. The other elders nodded as well. This was indeed their only chance to kill Lin Xian. After this round, it would be over. It would not be easy for them to make a move after this. After all, Peerless City would definitely protect these people. Very well. The Silver Corpse wholly venerate thought for a while and handed the yellow spring mirror and the small cauldron to Blackbone. Pay attention to his soul. It is very strange. Father, don't worry. I will be fine. Blackbone nodded and walked out. Countless gazes focused on him. Some people exclaimed when they saw Saint Sovereign Haegu walk out. Heavens! It is actually him. He is the Silver Corpse's son. He is a late-stage holy venerate. Who is he going to challenge? Fu Hongye or Ling Hu Chueshue? It must be one of the two. Because if these two people died, it would be a huge blow to Peerless City. The surrounding people discussed. Blackbone's eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked at Peerless City's side. In the next moment, his cold voice rang out. Lin Xian, get over here and take care of him. Chapter 4270. Everyone was shocked when they heard that. They didn't expect that the opponent would challenge Lin Xian. Even the people from Peerless City were stunned. Their expressions became a little strange. There were rules in the competition. Late-stage Saint Venerables could challenge mid-stage Saint Venerables, but they couldn't challenge others. Lin Xian was just a peak minor saint. If he was a late Saint Venerable, if he wanted to challenge a late-stage Saint Venerables, he would have to suppress his cultivation. That way, he wouldn't have any advantage. He might not even be able to defeat a mid-stage Saint Venerables. Therefore, the people from Peerless City had strange expressions. The other people also began to discuss spiritedly. No way. Is this late-stage Saint Venerables crazy? If he challenged, he would be suppressed to early-stage Saint Venerables. He might as well send a mid-stage Saint Venerables. Who knows? Maybe he was too angry. Someone said, "Don't you know? This person is called Saint Venerables Blackbone. He is the father of Taisho. He is also the son of the Silver Corpse Saint King. His strength is not ordinary. Obviously, he wants to take revenge personally." What? The opponent has such an identity? Exclamations sounded, and their eyes shone brightly. After all, Taisho was killed. How could Saint Venerables Blackbone endure it? Even so, he didn't have a big advantage. Could it be that he had some trump card? Discussions broke out one after another. Saint Venerables Blackbone had a cold killing intent, but when he heard those words, he almost vomited blood. What do they mean? Are they looking down on me? Do they think I can't win? Damn it, what kind of joke is this? He roared, and his voice shook the 9 heavens. Kid, come out and accept your death. If you don't come out, I'll attack the people around you and let you know what despair is. Lin Xian was also very surprised. Is there finally a late-stage Saint Venerables Blackbone? To be honest, he wasn't afraid. However, when he heard the last sentence, his face sank again. The opponent dared to attack his friends. He really didn't know what death was. Thinking of this, he stood up. You want to die? Fine, I'll fulfill your wish. This is already the last round of challenges. If it ends, there will be no more challenges. He was originally thinking of how to deal a heavy blow to Acheron Hall, but he didn't expect the other party to take the initiative to come knocking on his door. Since that was the case, he wouldn't hold back. As you wish. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Lin Xian strode forward. Countless people cried out in alarm. Was he really going to accept the challenge? Said Saint King Wu Shuang coldly. Saint King Haegu, according to the agreement, you have to suppress your cultivation level. He suppressed his cultivation to the early Little Saint realm. I'll give you one last chance to reconsider. Are you willing? There's no need to think about it anymore. Just do it. After saying that, Wu Shuang and Dual Saint Kings waved their hands and sent out a seal. He personally sealed the other party's cultivation. Soon, the other party's aura rapidly fell, directly falling to the level of an early-stage holy venerate. Sure enough, it was sealed. Countless people cried out in alarm. His aura had dropped significantly. Could the current him defeat Lin Xian? I don't think so. Xiao Chun could not even defeat middle-stage holy venerates, what more suppressing his cultivation. He wouldn't be insta-killed, would he? Discussions broke out one after another. The expressions of the yellow spring hall's people changed, turning extremely unsightly. Damn it! What's wrong with these people? Do they not have any confidence in us? However, to be honest, they felt very nervous. After all, their opponent was not an ordinary person. After all, this was the legendary Lin Wuti. Several middle-stage, holy venerates had died at his hands in the previous battle. How could they not worry about such a person? Lin Xian's lips curled up in a smile. You actually dare to personally challenge me? You are really reckless. With your strength, you are not even comparable to that bastard Iron Arms. I advise you to obediently kneel on the ground and wait for your trial. That way, you will suffer less. Despicable brat, I will let you know what regret and despair are. Right after Saint King Wu Shuang spoke, he turned into a bolt of lightning and charged over. The void shattered in an instant as he charged towards Lin Xian. The surrounding people were startled. How could this be? How could Saint King Wu Shuang still be so strong? Didn't Saint King Wu Shuang already suppress his cultivation? The strength that Saint King Wu Shuang displayed now was even stronger than that of a middle-stage holy venerate. Lin Xian was the same. A startling light burst out of his eyes. Saint King Wu Shuang quickly retreated, and the place where he had been standing exploded. The entire arena shook violently, and a crack appeared. Saint King Wu Shuang was too strong. Everyone sucked in a cold breath. Previously, they were still mocking him, thinking that he must have lost his mind for suppressing his cultivation. Who could have imagined that even after suppressing his cultivation, Saint King Wu Shuang was still so strong? Is this the Black-Bone Holy Venerate? He is really too strong. Why do I feel that Lin Wuti is in danger? All of a sudden, all kinds of discussions changed again. Everyone started to worry for Lin Xian. Peerless City's people also sucked in a cold breath, feeling extremely nervous. Late-stage holy venerates had many means, especially peak late-stage holy venerates like Saint King Wu Shuang. Even if Saint King Wu Shuang suppressed his cultivation, he was still very strong. He wondered how junior brother Lin was going to defend himself. Fu Hongya, who was at the side, also said that if Lin Xian could last for 15 minutes, it would be a draw. Lin Xian stood in the air, looking at the crack below. He frowned. Saint King Wu Shuang was much stronger than he had imagined. It looked like this would be a difficult battle. Brat, are you surprised? Do you think that you can fight me just because I suppressed my cultivation? You are too naive. I will personally capture you and let you know what it means to live a life worse than death. As Saint King Wu Shuang spoke, an extremely terrifying aura burst out again. Horrifying energy spread out between heaven and earth, and the surrounding space kept shattering. Everyone's bodies trembled. They felt a cold aura appear. It was as if the entire world was frozen. The chilling nomological laws swept towards Lin Xian. It wanted to swallow up Lin Xian completely. In the sky, there was a huge yellow springs diagram that kept flashing. Lin Xian roared when he felt this scene. The 9-yang divine body released resplendent golden flames and turned into the image of a war god, roaring in the sky. The war god threw a palm strike, and several golden crows appeared, moving about in the sky. Boom, boom. The power of the physique clashed with the cold law, tearing the sky apart. Then, the two clashed, creating a startling sound. The yellow springs diagram in the sky spun continuously as it was knocked back. As for Lin Xian, he kept moving back, creating 5 black holes in the air. The surrounding people were all shocked. Lin Xian actually got knocked back. This was too inconceivable. Previously, Lin Xian could easily kill middle-stage holy venerates. Now, holy venerate He Gu, whose cultivation was suppressed, was easily knocked back. This holy venerate He Gu was terrifyingly strong. How strong was he? Even if Saint King Wu Shuang suppressed his cultivation to early-stage holy venerate He Gu, killing a middle-stage holy venerate He Gu should be as easy as blowing off dust. Chapter 4271. The people from Acheron Hall sneered when they saw this. What do these idiots know? Sovereign Gu's strength was far beyond their imagination. Just wait and see. These people will know what a true expert is. The people from Myriad Demon City and Great Desolation Mansion sneered. This time, they should be able to get rid of Lin Xian. Between heaven and earth, terrifying energy flowed wildly. The flames around Lin Xian surged and blocked the aftershock of the storm. His face turned cold. His opponent was indeed strong. Beneath him, Sovereign Gu raised his head and sneered. How is it? Can you feel my strength? This was just a casual attack. Would you be able to block the next attack? As his voice faded, he raised his hand and made a grabbing motion in front of him. Suddenly, black flames appeared on his palm. Flames filled the sky and howled between heaven and earth. The surrounding cold aura exploded once again. This shocked everyone. One should know that flames were usually extremely hot and dazzling. But now, it was incomparably cold. What kind of flame was it? It was bone flame. Unparalleled Sage King frowned. This flame was extracted from the corpse of an expert. It was extremely strange as it could freeze the world. Lin Xian also noticed this. The black flames had the power of ice. In the next moment, he took a deep breath and unleashed the nine-yang divine body to the extreme. Golden flames danced around his body like a volcano. Then, he slapped his palms downward. The golden palms and the black palms collided. It was like a god and the grim reaper from hell were fighting. A surge of energy surged rapidly at the place where the two of them clashed. The entire world was rapidly collapsing. The people around them were shocked by what they saw. This kind of strength was too strong. Seeing that his opponent could block it, Sovereign Gu raised his head. His eyes were cold. No wonder his opponent could kill steel arms. He was indeed strong. However, his opponent was courting death. Since his opponent dared to destroy Steel Arm's soul, he dared to torture him for 10,000 years. He would let his opponent live in pain every day. Thinking of this, he snorted again and the power in his body exploded. The black flames became even more terrifying. At the same time, the flesh on his palm also disappeared and was replaced by black bones. It was a black bone hand with flames dancing on it. Once again, he grabbed forward. Boom, boom. An even more frightening cold aura gushed out, freezing everything in the surroundings and causing them to explode. This time, its power increased once again. The surrounding people were all going crazy. Could Yi Futian still increase his strength? Damn it. Wasn't he supposed to suppress his cultivation? The people from Peerless City were also shocked. Linghu Chueshue and the others cried out in alarm. Master, what was going on? Peerless Saint King said, It's impossible for him to break my seal. In other words, his cultivation was being suppressed. As for his power, that was the result of his divine ability and law. I can't interfere. Indeed, geniuses were able to fight above their level. Lin Xian was able to fight across terrifying realms. As for those of the older generation, they were also capable of doing so. Even with his cultivation suppressed, he wasn't someone who anyone could provoke. Saint Sovereign Blackbone was an example of this. The black bone claw seemed to split open the sky, like a black mountain. It carried with it an extremely terrifying law of finance. In addition to the black flames, there was even the terrifying yellow spring water surging. When the people from the other sacred cities felt this power, their expressions changed. Even those mid-stage Saint Sovereign's eyelids twitched wildly. They definitely wouldn't be able to survive being hit by such power. No matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he probably wouldn't be able to resist it. Saint Sovereign Blackbone was wrapped in black flames, like the grim reaper from hell. He looked at the figure above, and a cold voice sounded. Kid, it's over. Boom. The black hand soared into the sky. Lin Xian's eyes reflected the light. He naturally felt the terror of this attack. He took a deep breath, not daring to be careless. In the next moment, the 10 ultimate sword formation appeared and danced between heaven and earth. 10 sword chi, together with the law, kept falling down. It was like 10 divine swords piercing through the void. The 10 ultimate sword formation appeared. Lin Xian used his most powerful divine ability as soon as he came up. It took everyone by surprise. It seemed like this was going to be a tough battle. However, those people from the Acheron Hall sneered. The 10 ultimate sword formation was strong, but it wasn't enough. It couldn't compete with Saint Sovereign Blackbone. If this kid didn't have any other trump cards, he was really dead this time. Terrifying sword light surrounded Lin Xian's body, and he circulated the Dragon Clan's breathing technique. A mysterious power flowed out and supported the formation. Suddenly, the sword chi became terrifying again. The aura of the Dragon Clan spread out, as if an ancient divine dragon had been resurrected. At the same time, the aura of the great dragon Sword Soul also surged out, and the sound of dragons rang out. Lin Xian's body was surrounded by dragon chi, and it turned into a dragon shadow. At this moment, he was like a true Dragon Clan expert. A terrifying aura shook the heaven and earth. Boom, boom. The sword chi was incomparably powerful, and it blocked the black hand, causing the heaven and earth to shatter. The surrounding people were shocked when they saw this scene. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to unleash such an aura. No wonder he had the ability to challenge the sacred city. Just as the crowd was discussing, the scene in the sky changed again. Lin Xian made his move. His palm grabbed forward. In the 10 ultimate sword formation, 10 sword lights turned into a divine sword, and he held it in his hand. Then, he slashed out with the sword. The heaven and earth cracked instantly, and it couldn't resist at all. Buzz. The sword slashed at the black hand. When the two collided, the black hand immediately sank, and the surrounding void kept shattering. In the boundless darkness, the light of stars flickered. The sword directly pierced through the void. The surrounding people were stunned, and Saint Sovereign Blackbone's face changed. He didn't expect the other party to be able to resist it. Thinking of this, his eyes turned gloomy. Is he courting death? He stretched out his other hand, and it was also pitch black. The aura of the yellow spring on it was even more terrifying. Can the other party block the two palms together? However, as soon as he stretched out his hand, the void behind him kept shattering. A Tai Chi diagram appeared and shrouded him. Boom, boom, boom. The heaven and earth cracked. The terrifying golden light and the terrifying black aura spread together with the power of yin and yang. It caused the sky to turn into primal chaos. Not good. The Acheron Hall's face changed. It's the Tai Chi diagram again. It was this attack that killed Taisho. Could it be? Is Saint Sovereign Blackbone going to follow in his footsteps? As the earth-shattering collision occurred, the people of the other sacred city also became nervous. Is the winner going to be decided? The power lasted for a long time before it slowly disappeared. Lin Xian stood in the sky and looked down. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.